Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.
Post-game show with Seth Joyner.
I knew that they had a running game.
Derek Gunn.
He has put in the effort.
Devin Caney.
Had we not won the Super Bowl, what would we be saying?
And Mike Missinelli.
Well, you know who Philly is.
Post-game, now streaming on the 6ABC family of apps.
Hey, what's up, everybody? There's D-Gun. I'm Rob Ellis. Darryl will be joining us shortly. We hope. We think. We think so. I'm confident that that'll be happening. Hope everybody's doing well. Yes. Yes, I think he will be joining us. So,
Okay.
hope everybody had a great weekend. We see you, Tyler and Danny and Eagles 0536, Adam, Philiopolis, Chris D, Joey B. Who else do we have? Timoleon. Timoleon. I don't know. Joey B.
Timoleon, yeah.
Adam. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Derek, how are you? How was your weekend, man?
It was busy, yet it was enriching. Enriching. Got most of the Christmas decorations down, and then, of course, got to watch a crazy Sunday of NFL football. And, of course, as has been the case all season long, a Sunday filled with unpredictable outcomes and decisions. People out are in, people in are out. That's what I love about the NFL. You just never know week to week what's going to happen.
Are you okay after last night, after your squad went belly up and bye-bye? You okay?
You had to bring that up, didn't you? Let's see, we're 2 minutes into the show, and you couldn't wait to stick me with that one.
You knew I had to go there. You knew it. I mean, come on.
Let me put it to you like this.
Yes.
Unlike the average football fan, I am at peace. They didn't deserve to get in. They did everything they could to lose that game, and they got exactly what they deserved. So, therefore, when that game was over, I wasn't down, wasn't angry, nothing. It is what it is. It's football, man.
Okay. Very practical way to look at it. I like that.
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't think – well, you tell me. I don't think Eagles fans right now – here's the funny juxtaposition there. So, yes, I got my hair cut, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Joey B. I appreciate it.
It looks coordinated.
Eagles go 14-3.
Yep.
They lock up the number 1 seed.
Yep.
In the process, they set a record for sacks. I'm talking about team records. Record for receiving yards, receptions, among others. And I'm not even going to get into every single. There were a lot of individual stuff. The quarterback ends up going 14-1 as a starter.
Yep.
Yet we sit here on this Monday.
Yep.
With trepidation in the air, with doubt in the air from people. And by the way, I'm one of them. This is not me lecturing like you shouldn't feel that way. I have some doubt myself. Fair or unfair? Is it a little Negadelphia, or is it justified the way that people are feeling in your estimation, Gunner?
Absolutely justified. For the fans who are sitting out there with the blinders on today, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to do this. First and foremost, they secured the number 1 seed. They get to play one less game than everybody else in the NFC. That's a great thing. They get additional week of rest. Hopefully they get some key components back. You already got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. Hopefully Lane Johnson comes back. Even Lane Johnson at 85% is better than what they have on that right side right now. It's concerning because the coach came out and admitted Jalen Hurts was hurting bad yesterday. Wasn't just hurting, which goes back to what I said prior to that Dallas game. This was more than just a sprain. If he came back after 2 weeks rest and he's still hurting bad, there's still some soreness, some tenderness in there, and you could tell by his play. They didn't open a full playbook of scripted runs for him, and a good thing they didn't. They were very vanilla in a lot of ways. But if you look at the way the last 4 games have gone down, Rob, sure, there's some concern because this was not the well-oiled machine that we have been spoiled for most of this season to watch. The last 4 games, they didn't win the turnover battle. They've been winning the turnover battle all year. That's huge in the playoffs. They went 2-2 over the last 4. Could have went 1-3. You know, they got lucky and won that Chicago game. For whatever the reason, things have not been as smooth. And yes, we can credit it to, you know, Jalen missing 2 games. You know, if he had played the Dallas game, I think we all believe that they would have beat Dallas if Jalen had played against Dallas. But sure, there's cause for concern, as is the case with any team at this point. You know, but the bigger picture is they're the number 1 seed. They're sitting in the driver's seat. They get an extra week, get some people healed up, and let's go. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Here's where I am. Ultimately, you accomplished like the first check of where you want to go. Ultimately, you want to win your division and get home field advantage. Check. You know, obviously, then it's win a Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl, then win a Super Bowl if you want to take it in 3 steps. So they got there. But I'd be lying to you if I felt like they were peaking at the right time. You know, you look at a team like San Francisco that's won 10 straight. Some other teams that are playing extremely well at the moment right now. Right. That's not the Eagles. Now, that doesn't mean that with this bye week, you can heal up a little bit more and you can come out and absolutely look like the team that was just manhandling everybody sort of midway through the season.
Right.
Doesn't mean that can't happen.
No.
But when you're talking about Lane Johnson and Avonte Maddox and possibly Jalen Hurts not being fully right, that's major reason for concern. And if you're ignoring that, you don't want to know. Like you're putting your head in the sand a little bit if you don't, you know, if you're not worried about that.
Sure it is. You know, it's amazing, and we talked about this last week, what this team's record is without Lane Johnson on the right side. It's quite obvious that Jack Driscoll is not the answer on that right side, you know, unless he's run blocking. But if you look at the stats yesterday, it was a very balanced attack. Although I was shocked, again, they came out and threw the ball the first 10 plays of the game. You know, if your quarterback's hurting that bad, why would you throw the ball 10 times the first 10 plays when you're facing a defense and you're facing their subs, who are giving up 145.5 yards a game? You pound them between the tackles. No, this team, again, just like they did against the Saints, who was giving up 132 yards a game, you come out and throw the football. I just can't figure this team out. And then your coaches talk about, well, we got to do a better job. Well, that's 3 weeks in a row. You said you got to do a better job.
Yeah, I think that it's a really hard way to go about things in any sport, but especially the NFL, when you're essentially giving the message to your players, hey, look, we need the game, right? So you're going to play, but try not to get hurt out there. And you're going to cater your game plan to that. And listen, I don't even really fault the Eagles if his shoulder is still hurting him. I don't want him running RPOs off tackle. I don't want it.
No, not now.
But I think that message was not only told to Jalen, I think it was told to the entire team, Dallas Goedert, you name it. I think it was told to everybody. So you're going to get those kind of up and down efforts like you got yesterday.
Sure. When
you're not going all out. Like they did enough. They get out of it relatively clean. Boston Scott had the head injury. We'll see, you know, kind of where that stands. But for the most part, you were healthy coming out of the game. So, you know, it worked, but it didn't exactly instill confidence more than anything else.
They built a 19-0 lead. You know, as inconsistent as it was, they still built a 19-0 lead, and they cruised to the finish line. I don't care how they got to the finish line, long as they got to the finish line with a W. Which is what they did. Okay, so now sit back and enjoy it. Watch the playoffs unfold this weekend, you know, so you find out who you're going to play the next week. It's all business. Mm-hmm. They've earned this time off. They've earned the right to sit back and heal up and try to get some pieces back. They got Robert Quinn back. They got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back, you know, and hopefully they get a few more pieces back next week for whoever they play. But when you look at how they arrived at where they were, you have to wonder, Okay, because what's funny is Sirianni said again, the Giants were throwing a lot of things at us, and that's what they're going to see in the playoffs.
Sure they are.
They've seen it for 5 consecutive weeks now. We've heard the players and the coaches talk about they're showing us things we didn't see on film, and that's what you have to adjust to. And the Eagles have adjusted to it enough to win that division. And as we sit here and and enjoy this, because they are the number 1 seed. They finished, with one of the best records along with Kansas City. For me, even what was even more enjoyable was watching Dallas implode in Washington yesterday.
Oh.
I enjoyed that immensely.
Well, while you're at it, where are whatever his name is, William and Texas Boy? Where are all those guys? Where are our trolls?
Crickets chirping.
Yeah, flip over the rock and they come scurrying out. Turn the light switch on. Here come all the cockroaches. Where are they? What happened?
Crickets chirping.
That's why they're the biggest frauds on earth. They don't show up after their team, swallows it again. They don't. They come up small every single time, and then they go hide when their team comes up small. It's so damn weak. It really is.
Their $1 million baby Dak Prescott, 7 straight games throwing a pick, 15 picks on the season. Yeah, let's see how that plays out in the playoffs. You got to go down to Tampa, and Tampa's not the team they were, but I think Dallas is going to be one and done, to be honest with you.
Look, Brady 7-0 against them.
Yep.
Keep that in mind.
Yep.
And that's what they're playing. Here, by the way, Derek, let's say Dallas wins that game and Dallas is the lowest seed still alive and the Eagles get them. Eagles will have a bye week.
Yep.
Dallas has a short week, only 6 days off in between. That's a great advantage for the Eagles.
Hey, no question.
Potentially if the Cowboys come here. Anyway, not to get too sidetracked here with
right.
that. But I'm with you, man. Like you're seeing some real, the wheels coming off kind of situations. Dallas could be one of them. But yeah, I mean, look, overall, if you can separate yourself from the recent history, the problem with the Eagles is we haven't seen a really good game out of them. In my estimation, since they beat the Giants the original time, which was December 11th, which is 48-22.
Mm-hmm.
They likely won't play a game again until the 21st or 22nd. So you're talking about, almost 5-6 weeks off between a really good game. So that's a concern. That is a concern.
Let me see here.
Well, you think about it. So games are going to start being played on the 14th and the 15th of next week and the 16th.
21st.
They won't be played again until the 21st or the 22nd when the Eagles play in the divisional round. So that's a long stretch. So I don't think this is, you guys are being overly negative. I think it's a fair thought to have concerns. It's a fair feeling to have if you're an Eagles fan to have concerns. You're thrilled with what happened ultimately. But a lot of times in the playoffs, it's who's peaking at the right time.
Absolutely.
And I don't think the Eagles are necessarily going this way. I mean, let's face it, 2 of their losses without Jalen Hurts.
Right.
But it just sort of feels like this right now. And the added uncertainty of the injuries are a concern. Like Philly-Apples, why am I so scared? I'm not the difference is Philly-Apples, I'm not just a pom-pom waver who doesn't want to look at the reality of the situation. That's the difference. I'm not afraid of everything, but I'm going to point out things that concern me. And I'm not just going to say, I'm an Eagles fan. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I don't do it that way.
See, first of all, why did you acknowledge them? Because now you got exactly what you want.
No, it's okay. I like having a number of people.
Like okay. Yeah, but see, it's a silly debate because nobody's sitting here talking about being afraid. We're pointing out obvious pros and cons. And you look at how they got to the finish line. And how many times did we say in the first 14 minutes of this show, the bottom line is it didn't make a difference how they got there. They got there.
Right.
But people don't want to hear that.
Yeah, it's selective hearing.
Yeah, so when they go off in these narratives, why are you scared? What? You got to tune it out.
Well, the other thing is
they're not listeing.
I don't mind. I don't mind, unless you're being disrespectful and a troll. I don't mind the debate, Philly-Apples. But the 3-year-old response of, okay, so I'm the bad guy because y'all are scared. No, you're not a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm telling you how I feel. That's the way this works. You know what I mean? Like if you're not scared, Fine. You haven't been paying attention for the last month, but that's okay. You can feel however you want to feel. I think there's legitimate concerns. But here's the thing.
You're a native Philadelphian.
Right.
It is well documented that you bleed Philadelphia sports. You're in a platform where you get to voice your opinion and share concerns, plus and minuses.
Right.
That's exactly what you're supposed to be. Objective, not a homer. Be objective. That's what we do. Be objective.
Right. Right.
Because
and again,
you're not being true to yourself and what you're called to do if you're not being objective.
Right. And look, this is all about just sort of what I wanted the first segment and what we're doing right now when Barrett jumps on to do the same thing. It's sort of like a pulse take. I'm curious where people are. Some people, hey, man, everything's great. Everything's going to be awesome. Okay, great. That's fine. If that's the way you feel, cool. I just think what we've seen the last couple of weeks and the injuries, like, let me put it this way. If Lane Johnson was fully healthy and Avonte Maddox was playing and Jalen there wasn't any issues with the shoulders, and it just kind of looked the last couple of weeks, I could much more easily say, yeah, you know what? All right. They just didn't play their A game late.
Right.
Everything's going to be fine. The injuries, to me, take it to a little bit of a different level in terms of the concern, because you talk about, in my opinion, the best tackle in football, not just the best tackle.
Yep.
Okay. Lane Johnson. Avonte, who's a really sort of like, we appreciate him in the city, but underrated in general, I think, as a defensive back, because you really need slot corners who are quality.
No question about
it. Those two guys being out and possibly you having to cater your game plan even in the postseason a little bit around the injury for Jalen Hurts. I don't know how that doesn't give you just a little bit of pause. That's all. I don't know how it doesn't.
And those are fair, objective statements. If you are truly watching the games, there is some concern. Play calling, execution, finishing. And maybe we were spoiled. Maybe we all got really spoiled watching this team run up 28, 30, 35, 40 points a game, rushing for 363 yards, 253 yards. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe we all got spoiled. Mm-hmm. But the further they went along in the season, and that is the nature of the NFL, when you are a dominant team, your opposition will try to do anything and everything to slow you down. They will flip their scripts. They will add things and wrinkles that you haven't seen. The players and coaches have told us that every week. And so getting to the finish line is a little bit more difficult. You got there, but it's a little bit more difficult. You look at a team like San Francisco. Okay, they won 10 in a row. They almost lost the game against the Raiders. We are talking about, man, this San Francisco team is holding 8 consecutive opponents to 20 points or less. They give up 34 points to a team like the Raiders that's going nowhere, had to go to overtime to beat the Raiders. It happens. But it's how you overcome those obstacles that define who you are. Right. Now, this Eagles team that we've heard the coaching staff say for 4 weeks, we have to do a better job of calling plays, of putting players in position to make plays, has an additional week to heal some bodies up, yep, to re-strategize the play calling and the direction they want to send this team in the playoffs, because they know, like everybody else, you can't stumble anymore. You can stumble through the season to get to where you want to go and still have another game to play. Now it's do or die. My boy Hugh Douglas, every time we get to the playoffs, the first thing that resonates in my ears is when I stood in his locker when he said that back in the early 2000s. And when he said that in his Michael Jackson voice, it's do or die. Do or die. And it's still pertinent today for every team still standing in the National Football.
Yeah, and and we're going to dig into the offense and the defense, real sort of specific stuff here in a little bit. But the other thing, excuse me, that I guess the trending the way I don't love, they're not taking the ball away that they were, or the way they were earlier in the year on the defensive side. The run defense against, let's face it, Gary Brightwell and second stringers and whatnot. Yeah. I would have liked to have looked better because the Eagles had their ones out there. Like, these are the kind of things that worry me a little bit. Now, I also think there is a human nature element to yesterday's game where the Eagles are looking at it and it's like, oh man, the Giants have their second and third stringers in there. Maybe you're not quite, you should be, but you're not quite as dialed in. That's human nature a little bit, where, once the playoffs come, you're going to be as into it as you possibly be. Maybe that accounts for some of it, possibly. But there are some things that I look at and I say, all right, if you're playing against a good team, if you do this, it's going to kill you. Like they dropped a great point. John Dickerson's, they dropped 3 or 4 picks. You're exactly right, John. Like those are plays that either you look at and say they'll make them again. They're not going to drop those kind of balls again. Or it's like you got to make those kind of plays. And that's the difference between winning and losing a game sometimes. So, you know, there are definitely a lot of positives. This is still a team that if it's relatively healthy, offensively can hurt you in a million different ways. They can run it down your throat. They can throw it all over you, you know, and all that. Defensively, they can get to after the quarterback. I think they have the second most sacks in the history of the NFL. They had the club's most sacks ever. They get after you. In theory, Slay and Bradbury are a phenomenal duo. And I think Bradbury really stepped up yesterday. Slay has just been for me.
And see, people want to chew up Slay for that touchdown Galladay caught. That was perfect coverage. Galladay made an incredible catch.
I'm not beating him up for that. That was a sick catch. That's the best play Galladay made as a Giant by far.
And it's his only touchdown of the season as a Giant. I mean, the throw was great. It was a great throw by Webb.
That's a tip your hat moment.
You know, but, you know, like I sent you guys last night, Slay can't let it go because people start jaw-jacking at him. So he's jaw-jacking back with people on social media. Know. And I'm like, really? You're going to get caught up in this? Are you kidding me? I mean, it was just a fluke play. It was a heck of a catch. It was perfect coverage.
Yeah.
You know, 9 times out of 10, Slay makes the play, bats the ball away, whatever the case may be.
Right. Yeah, Derek, that's definitely not one. That's just, hey, man, that dude made an insane play. But I don't think he's played as well of late. Now, some of the secondary issues you have to attribute to some of the turnover here. They just got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. Yep. He played in the slot, which I think is the right move. You know, just roll with Blankenship if you have to, if Avante can't come back. Yep. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I like that. But I would also like to I would like to see more turnovers here. And we haven't, and they were great at it earlier in the year. They haven't been as good of late with the takeaways.
Well, they have this they end the season 4 straight games. They don't win a takeaway battle, you know. And again, we've been spoiled. You know, this team's been racking up takeaways like you wouldn't believe. You know, now there's a lull period. Now you got 2 weeks to get it right again. You got 2 weeks to sit back and analyze everything. Mm-hmm. Like Jalen Hurts said after the game, the job's not done. We're happy to get to the finish line, #1 seed, but the job's not done. So, you know, Nick Sirianni is giving the team off today, except Jalen and the coaches are behind closed doors looking at film. That's what a leader does. Okay, what do I need to work on? Where can we attack? Where can we get stronger? You know, and it's funny saying getting stronger when you have 2 1,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard running back.
Right.
But they can get stronger. They can get better. You know, based on what we watched the last 4 games, they can get strong.
Whoa. All right, let's start with this. Let's start with the wardrobe here.
Let's get down to business. Get down to business.
Whoa.
Let's get down to business.
That is phenomenal.
I can't see right now. I'm blind.
That is phenomenal.
I don't lie.
Rob,
I don't lie.
Rob, define phenomenal.
Like that's next level. That sweater. I mean,
can you imagine this? Can you guys imagine this next year at Christmas time?
I was going to say the only time you should wear that is at Christmas.
You know what the best part is? On your sleeves, Barrett, they're little burgers, right?
Little burgers.
That's not real meat. That ain't real meat.
French fries.
There's fries on there too?
Yeah. Yes. You see the fries.
Oh my God. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Okay. I got them. And little snowflakes mixed in and wreaths, chimneys, like a little. Oh
unbelievable. Take this all in. Take it all in.
That is a lot, man. That is unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Take it all in.
As if Barrett wasn't handsome enough, then you enhance it with that sweater, man. It's unbelievable.
What is wrong with Joey B, man? He didn't sign an NIL deal.
Hey, Barrett, your boy Philiopolis here. Barrett, these dudes been talking nothing but scared so far. Please talk some sense into them. Now, we have not talked, you know, and I hate that that's the second time we've acknowledged this dude in the first 24 minutes of the show. But, you know, obviously he wants attention. And as we discussed in the show meeting.
See, my mom knows I love White Castle.
Yeah, mom loves it. Mama Brooks is noticing. I like it.
Mama Brooks, how did you allow your son to freely eat White Castle most of his life? I have so much respect for you, Mama Brooks. You should have taken out the switch and tore his
Oh,
behind up.
jeez. Oh man, just rough. Oh,
You gotta love it though, man. You gotta love it, man. I told y'all I was getting it, man. It just took a country. It took a country. No, it's not country. It took a
country mile.
country.
No.
Yeah, well, country's slower than
month
the
of
city.
Sundays.
Yeah,
A month of Sundays to get here.
I
So
love
when
it,
did
man.
when did you order that?
I ordered it. We started talking about this the end of November, wasn't it? Wasn't it the end of November?
No, I thought it was in December. It popped up on some site like a week or two before Christmas, I believe.
No, you know, it might have been on the stream. Yeah, it was a week or two before Christmas. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's
All right.
probably been about a month or
Yeah.
maybe close to it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so let's temperature take you, Barrett. So, yeah, basically, what all Derek and I have kind of been doing here is basically saying, "Hey, look, mission accomplished in that you got the 1 seed, man. You won the division. It's amazing some of the records you sent, and with all of that backdrop, you would think you'd be just chest puffed out, feeling great. And if I'm being honest, I'm a little bit concerned. I don't love the way they've played of late, and I don't love the injuries."
Expectations, man. It's the expectations that we have for this team. I was on with Angelo this morning and talking about fired up. Angelo was hot. He is mad. And the majority of callers that called were mad because the expectations, this team, we're supposed to blow this team out.
We're spoiled.
Well, exactly. So
Yeah.
when you think about, even if we'd have blown them out or beat them just by 1 point, we still won. And that does not carry over one game to another game. It doesn't carry over. You play how you play on that Sunday. And that's what we need to be looking at. Dallas beat our tails. They kicked our back end last year and still got beat by a 49ers team that wasn't that good. So it really doesn't matter what we do to begin the game. Right now, going into the playoffs, everybody has a clean slate. Everybody is 0-0. It does not matter what anybody's record is. So at this point, a number 6 seed, a number 7 seed is the same record as a number 1 seed.
Yep.
Everybody's on equal planes. So that's what we need to worry about, how they go forward. Did they play well? No. Did they play their game on the offensive side of the ball? No.
Mm-hmm.
The defense, on the other hand, they found some new pieces. They got some new pieces that weren't there. That played in a different role for them, but it's their natural role. I'm talking about CJGJ.
Yep.
Played at a high level. We dropped about 5 picks yesterday. We missed about 5 or 6 sacks yesterday. And I think towards the end of the game, we started to freestyle and just go try to be sack happy. And we didn't stay with our lane discipline. We didn't stay disciplined within what we were trying to do. And that's why we made mistakes. And we didn't have an offense that was, a defense that was playing up to their capabilities. You have to be sound in the defensive scheme in order to make things happen. And they got a little out of the scheme simply because they were sack chasing. That's what they call it, sack chasing.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to hunt instead of play within the framework of the defense. So, what do I get from this win? They won the game. Were they playing against the 3s and 4s? They probably were. These guys are NFL caliber players. Yes, they are. Did they play above and beyond because they're interviewing for 31 teams? Yes, they did. Does this show how good we are or bad we are? No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I like I said, I believe that the lull in the way they played isn't nearly as big as what the injuries look like here. Like what capacity's Lane?
Yep.
It does Avonte Maddox come back? Is Jalen still sore? I don't know about you guys. When Nick Sirianni said yesterday he's hurting badly, like I'm like, whoa. Really?
It goes to what I was saying before that Dallas game. I knew it back then. This was more than just a sprain. I knew it back then. And and you guys know, I kept saying it every week.
Well,
this is not just a sprain. This something else, and I don't know if thank goodness they have the division wrapped up. They got an extra week, but this is something he may have to play through for the rest of the season.
Well, let me give you one better than that. I was shocked to hear from the national media. I was shocked to hear from CBS broadcaster Charles Davis.
Yep.
That they do their meetings, those pre-meetings before the game.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to hear that Jalen said he was hurting so bad that he didn't throw for 2 weeks.
And he said he shouldn't have finished the game too, he told me.
Yep.
That he shouldn't have finished. Yep. Now, why weren't we privileged to that same information?
Yeah. And what did What did the broadcast also say? Jalen didn't start throwing until last Thursday. Now, the week prior, we saw him out there soft tossing, short tossing.
Yeah, he was doing some stuff, yeah.
But the media's kicked out. You don't get to see the full repertoire of what's going on behind closed doors, you know. Yep. Same way the tail end of last week. So they kept this under wraps, you know, very well. And I'm sitting there going, this is not just a sprain. It's more. There's more to this than just a sprain.
What I'm pissed off about, and I'm gonna talk to my sources too, and I talked with them already. I'm like, yo, what's up with the bad info? What's up with the bad intel? And one guy's like, oh, well, I mean, it is what it is, B. Brooks.
No, Barrett, it wasn't bad intel. It was an initiative. It was a mandate. Keep your mouth closed about this. Keep your mouths closed.
Then that should have been told to me. Just saying, well, we can't talk about it. That's all you had to tell me. That's all you had to tell me. But, you know, it just goes to show this team, how dependent they are on Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Is Shane Steichen as good as we think he is? We also know that we need Lane back in the worst way. 70% Lane is better than 100% Driscoll.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think all those things are fair, and I just think, you know, it's hard. It's really hard to gauge yesterday. Like, they got to be better in the red zone. If they are better in the red zone, if that lane call on Dickerson doesn't happen and they score a touchdown there, maybe they just run away with this thing. But
hey, what's up with that though, man? I mean, that's a topic in itself. We have been getting screwed by refs the past 3 weeks, bro.
Yeah, no.
What's up with that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand it.
I don't know. It was a terrible call, but nonetheless, you're out there. You're not showing the full arsenal. Like, think this was like a preseason game in a sense that you didn't want to show a whole lot, right? And or couldn't show a whole lot because Jalen's not there. That's not, look, for better or worse. Even if that shoulder's hurting a little bit, you have to go with the full ante on divisional. So you're going to get everything then. This was different. So to just look at the offense and say, oh my God, they only scored X amount of points, just understand what it was too. I get it was against third stringers, but it was also, to an extent, a really scaled back vanilla protective game plan, if you will.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
See, I wish he had played against the Saints so he would have 3 weeks to heal up. Now you got 2 weeks because you spun that roulette wheel and you came up empty against the Saints, which was a shocker. So you had to bring him back. It was all hands on deck for this game. It was mandatory. So now he gets a week less, but still plenty of time for him to be functional in a playoff game. Now, will functional be good enough to do everything that he does? Will he be that much closer to being 100% healthy so that you can run the full repertoire of what made them a dominant offense for much of this season? That's a big question mark. Huh?
No, that's not a question mark.
No, I'm saying
they're going to have to.
We don't know if he's going to be 100%. No, I'm saying it as if because they have been so close-knit in terms of telling us nothing about this injury, we don't know if he's going to be 100%.
What doesn't matter? It doesn't matter if he's 100% now. Going into this game, you got to go with the full gamut. You got to leave all your cards on the table.
I agree. So
it doesn't matter if he's healthy enough or not. He'll be healthy enough because he's going to go out there and play regardless. It's not like we have a choice in the matter. This offense does not work if Jalen Hurts is not at the wheel. This offense is so predicated to his style of play and so, in sync with his style of play that even when we just give him a little bit of a shell of what, the offense is, you see how it works. You see how it can go. And Nick Sirianni said something on the show today. He said, look, guys, I understand everybody wants us to run the ball. Hell, I want to run the ball also. But we understood, we noticed something last year. We went and we were a run-dominant team, got into the playoffs, and it didn't work. We have to make sure that we stay on top of the passing game. We have to come in with a top half of the league passing game in order to go forward in the playoffs. He said that. He said, look, we needed a top 10 passing game in order to compete in the playoffs. And that's why they stuck to the passing game. They wanted to pass the ball, so they did. It wasn't like they didn't have a choice. They had a choice to run the ball, but they already know they can do that. When push came to shove and they needed to win the game, they ran the ball. But he made it a point to emphasize they needed a way to score and open up the offense and be a more explosive offense. And the only way you can do that is by the pass. So that's why they passed so much in the game. What as though they were trying to, that they were ignorant to what they can do. They know they can go back to their book and pass the ball anytime they want to. But they understood that they need a passing game to compete with the upper echelon teams to be explosive in the playoffs. And that made a hell of a lot of sense to me. A hell of a lot of sense.
Okay, and I would have asked him this then. Nick, you came out on your
I couldn't ask a question.
I know. I know why, and trust me, I know. But here's my question then. You admitted after the game that your quarterback was hurting bad. Okay. Why did he pass the first 10 times in the game?
Because he said that's what they wanted to. That was their game plan. They scripted their first 15, and that's the run-pass ratio they wanted. They wanted to pass the ball. It's a reason why they want to pass the ball, because they understood in the playoffs you need explosive plays.
I get that. But I'm saying, there could have been a more balance early on. Now, when you look at the total numbers, there was a balance. I think 35 passes, 34 runs. It was a balanced total. But you could run on the Giants JV. You could have been 5 pass, 5 run. You came out throwing the ball the first 10 times of the game. If your dude's shoulder is hurting that bad, and you as the head coach said after the game, he's hurting bad, then what do you do to protect your player? Well,
he has a warm up. He had to warm it up, man. He had to get him back in sync with his receivers. And I understand it. He's got to get back in sync with his receivers.
Yeah.
Okay, your first pass play was a big 35-yard gain to A.J. Brown. Okay, you good. You warmed up. Throw another pass play. Sprinkle in a run here. Sprinkle in a run. Go back to your pass play. Mm-hmm. Take that off, because you're playing a defensive coordinator, even though he's playing scrubs. That dude blitzed almost every play yesterday.
Yeah.
They didn't care who they had in the Giants uniform. If the dude in the concession stands was put on the Giant uniform and play deep, you blitzing. How fast can you get to the quarterback?
I think we also didn't see Miles Sanders in the second half. So, I mean, I just think all of these things, everything was altered. Like I saw Sills throw up there, Weishurts running 9 times. First of all, 3 of them were kneel downs at the end of the game.
Yeah, right? True.
Yeah. And 2 of them were plays where there wasn't anything there, and he sort of just slid and I don't know.
Or threw it out of bounds.
Right. I'm saying, but in terms of just the runs, like they weren't clearly the game plan was it's not going to be RPOs where he's running off tackle. It's going to be straight handoffs, higher percentage passes, those kind of things. I mean, they were playing knowing he was hurt. They were playing trying to keep him preserved, but also trying to win the game. And again, it's really hard to have it, and they were having it yesterday, and that's why it looked like it did. But they survived. Yep. There's a lot of things that factor into it. Go ahead, Byron.
It was a vanilla
game plan.
Yep. But it was just catered toward the pass. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Sure, I agree.
They want to pass the ball. The owner wants to pass the ball. Remember back when they when what's his name was the coach? Doug was the coach. He got ringed because they ran the ball so successful against a Green Bay team.
Yep.
Went into the Tuesday meeting with the head coach. I mean, with the GM and the owner. Like, well, man, why would you run that much? And I mean, run the ball that much. And you look, it paid dividends. It won the game. You can't win game on style point. It doesn't matter what style points are.
No.
As long as you get the game won, it doesn't matter. That W in the win column is the only thing that matters at this point.
Right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If it takes passing, it takes running, whatever it's going to take, they got to make sure they're heated up to do it. Especially
in a one and done scenario now. There's no more room to work on certain things and get better the next week. There is no next week moving forward for anybody.
Absolutely.
There is no tomorrow.
There
is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
That's a little foreshadowing. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to come back. We'll dive into the offense. Then we'll dive into the defense. Then we're going to set you up for the entire weekend, what the schedule looks like both Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for the wild card weekend.
You know what? Kudos to the NFL, man. Think about it.
Yeah.
3 days of playoff action.
I love it.
3 days, not 2.
I love it. Can't get enough.
They're number one, man. They're number one as far as sports and maximizing.
I'm not even rooting for any team other than the Eagles, but you get to watch 3 days of playoff games.
It doesn't get any better.
Doesn't get any better than that.
I like the NCAA tournament. The first day is pretty awesome. There's no doubt, but this wild card weekend, man, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Woo!
I will go so far as to say this, Rob. The first full weekend of the NCAA tournament, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Could you always have somewhere a David upsetting a Goliath?
True.
You have some buzzer beater, half court shot. You can always count. And then it kind of mellows out. The better teams separate themselves. But those first 4 days in the NCAA tournament are cliffhangers, man.
Can we watch the game at your house?
Where? Yes, Barrett. New Year. Yes. Come on down.
Whoa.
Yes.
You heard it.
I'll make my famous wings. I'll make my grilled wings and everything.
Oh my God.
On down. Yes.
Wow.
I don't know how to come back from that.
This is
I'm
stunned.
Like I'm uncomfortable right now.
I know. I think he caught us both off guard.
Rob, Barrett, I have seen the light. My wife said, I told you, my wife said this show has made me a meaner version of myself. And I think this show has basically made me a more honest entity within myself. I've discovered a new entity of who D Gun really is.
Well, I don't know what to do, man. Like it caught me so off guard. I didn't have a comeback. I didn't know what I was going to say.
I know. I was sort of like, I didn't know how to pivot. Off of that.
See, you have to understand. I'm trying to navigate D Gun, Gunner, and Derek.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Okay. Yeah. And all three have been taken over by this show in this format. Therefore, I have to take control of myself and who I used to be. And of course, with some prodding from my wife to be a better man. You know how that is when your wife is on you about being a better man. It all has to come into play. So therefore, yes, as my wife would do, I welcome you with open arms. If you want to come down here and watch the NCAA tournament or watch a game, yes, we'll throw something on the grill. Since I have the weekend off, since the Eagles don't play until next week, we'll sit on the couch in the family room in front of my big screen TV, sing Kumbaya and burp wings.
No, Derek, I don't want to come now. I don't want to come now. Why would I want to come now?
Thank you, Adam. Adam the Explorer said I still love you. Hey, Barrett, just for the record, since my wife ain't watching and she ain't listening right now, I was lying. You ain't coming nowhere near my house.
It was all a ploy. Oh my God!
Seriously, I'd love to have you over.
Okay, all right. Let's get a timeout. Let's soak that in for a minute. That's not an easy one to digest. So we'll do that. We'll come back. We'll hit a little offense and defense, and Gunner, this shocker. Forget about upsets yesterday. This is the all-time upset.
I might even sing some Luther for you if you come down.
Oh my God! All right, interesting. All right, and Barrett's got the sweater on. So what else do you need?
No,
nothing.
You ain't wearing that sweater in my house. You cannot wear that sweater in my house.
All right.
All right, let's get a timeout. We'll come back. We'll keep rolling. D-Gun, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. I'm going to tell you right now about Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group, because trying to find the right person with your finances, with your hard-earned money, can be a really scary proposition. I was at the front of that line for a very long time. I can speak for personal experience. I found that right person, and it's Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group. Whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, insurance review, if you have a small business, you're trying to get your employee benefits off the ground, you're not really sure how to go about it, that's another resource that Jim can help you with. I could tell you this. I personally have entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollovers with Jim, and it was absolutely the best thing I could have done. You can give him a call, 610-996-4751, 610-996-4751. You could also email him as well, Murray, MURRAY.Jim@principal.com. That's Murray.Jim@principal.com.
Go for the beers, go for the cheers, go for the hit and the hits, go for the scene, go for the screens, go for the gallery, go for the win, go to Ocean.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for a December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Rams starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Post-game show with Seth Joyner,
I knew that they had a running game.
Derek Gunn,
He has put in the effort.
Devin Caney,
Had we not won the Super Bowl, what would we be saying?
and Mike Missinelli.
Well, you know who Philly is.
Post-game, now streaming on the 6ABC family of apps.
Are back. Yes, we are. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. That is Barrett Brooks. Oh, he has changed the attire, Derek. He's out of the White Castle Christmas spirit, and he's in his Brooks hoodie.
Yeah, you can't wear a burlap hoodie forever.
You caught me off guard again.
Come on, man.
That's too. That's oh man, you on a roll right now. You on a.
What do you think? Because you invited him over your house, you can say whatever you want now? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man.
Right. Haven't I always said what I wanted? Has that changed any?
No, it has not. No.
I'm just trying to find a better medium ground, Rob.
Happy medium.
I see the light in a lot of ways.
Light.
You know,
turn that light off.
Did I need to? Did I may need to be nicer like you and Barrett? You know, a kinder, gentler version of myself. Yeah, I think there's always room. There's always room for improvement. See, I'm trying to be sincere, and you two are laughing at me, so that brings out the anger in me. See what I
mean? No, I don't buy a second of you trying to be sincere. Sorry.
Why?
No, I'm kidding.
What? You know what? Your invitation's been rescinded.
Oh no, that's all it took, man. That quickly. I'm out.
Oh, John Dickerson says a fourth personality, Dika.
Well, you incorporated the third not that long ago, so I don't know. It's hard to tell, how many. We're multiplying as we speak. All right, so let's look at the offense here for a second, and let's kind of balance yesterday with what they accomplished overall. So let's start with the bigger picture. AJ Brown ends up with 4 catches, 95 yards, which gets him to the 1,496 yard mark, which breaks Mike Quick's all-time record in season. I thought it was a really nice touch after the game. AJ Brown's in an 82 Quick jersey throwback, and did an interview with Mike and gave Mike a lot of love. So I love that kind of stuff, paying your respects like he did.
Too,
so
man. Me too.
That was just cool. That's just an understanding of, the history. Love that.
We always talk about how young players today across the board in sports don't know or don't appreciate sports history.
Yep.
like we do because we lived a lot of it, and they didn't. They live in the, everything is on the phone or your laptop generation, and more so than what we did. We absorbed sports as kids. Yep. We debated stats. We lived stats. Nowadays, not so much. Even though you have everything at the access of a fingertip, these younger people don't know sports history for the most part like we do, and that's okay because it was our era. A lot of stuff we talk about from then and compare to today is because we've seen both.
Right.
They haven't. They've only seen highlights that can only read about. I understand that. But for A.J. Brown to do that, you're right. That is the ultimate respect to a player who has meant so much to this organization, Mike Quick, and who continues to be a significant part of this organization.
Well, I think about this too. I mean, you make that trade to get him, you give up a first-round pick, and he comes in and he sets the all-time franchise record in terms of yards. Devontae Smith, who you drafted 2 years ago, ends up setting the all-time record with catches. He has 95 catches. What an unbelievable duo these two are. I mean, tell me a better duo. You can maybe argue Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle or whatever. I'll put these two up with anybody in the NFL. Anybody.
Let's see for a minute. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, that's a great combination. Adam Thielen has been off. I would have said Thielen Jefferson, but Thielen
he's kind of
way down.
He's starting to go down a little.
Yeah.
Still a good player, but he's not. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another combination. It was wow. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Bills have Diggs and I like Gabriel Davis.
I love Gabriel Davis. Yeah.
Not the same level though.
No.
Not the same level.
No, I agree.
No.
I mean, Cincinnati.
You're right. You're right, Mr. Brooks. I agree with you.
Stop, man. What about Seattle? What would you say Seattle?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
And DC, yeah, that's a good one.
I think Cincy with Jamar Chase and Higgins.
And T. Higgins.
And they have Boyd too. They have a really good three.
Man. Yeah,
threesome there. Look, anyway, if not the best, I think they're in any argument for the best, right? And it's amazing what they've done. Derek, you pointed out a little bit earlier. They also had a running back go over 1,000 yards. You had Jalen Hurts, who's now 17-1 in his last 18 starts. There's a lot to love here. There's a lot to love. The things you don't love that you're concerned about is, like we talked about, some of the health issues. Yesterday against second and third stringers, 1 for 5 in the red zone. Again, you take into account if you watch the game, there was a play that should have been a touchdown that was called back. What I think it was a lane call. And then, and there's no excuse here. Hurts forces one. It was a bad interception, right? So, but he's rusty a little bit. That's why I thought it's critical, even if it wasn't a thing of beauty, for him to get out there and play a little bit yesterday rather than being off for 5 weeks. Like, I do think that part of it helps, that he took some hits, some real live bullets. They're not just throwing in shells at practice and all those kind of things. So if there's anything to kind of glean out of that, is like he got to play at least yesterday for the first time in a while.
And get some of the rust off. And work through some of the pain. You know what? And it's a good test for him. I hated to see that the starters had to play play the whole game, basically. But it's a good mental test for Jalen also, if he has to deal with the same kind of pain 2 weeks from now, or similar pain, or hopefully a lot lesser pain, but if he has to deal with pain, and as Barrett will tell you a lot of times, pain can disrupt the mental psyche in terms of how you go about your job on the field. You start thinking about an injury too much. You start altering a throw a certain way, because if you throw it from here, it hurts a lot more than you throw it from here. Those are little things that you have to work through and overcome. So it was good for him to get out there and experience that, to find out exactly, okay, what doesn't cause me excessive pain and what can I play through? Now, when they go back to the full arsenal of the RPOs, he's going to take significant shots. And as we've said, and as I've talked about, you look at some of the defenses they faced over the latter part of the season, those edge crashers did a much better job of running and stopping and forcing him to do something, and taking additional shots on Jalen when they got the chance, than they did the first part of the season. So he's going to have to overcome that as well. So it's good to be able to go through that. When you've basically played a season relatively pain-free, let's face it, halfway through the season, everybody's hurt. in some
Everybody
regards.
is hurting right now.
Everybody's hurting. But when you have something that alters the way you play the game and you still have to fight through it to get the job done, that's pertinent, especially now, to get that psyche and get that in your mind. Okay, here's what I'm going to have to do to be successful and to get us to that next level.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And I think there's.
Thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
You're right, man. But
I'm trying.
You're never as healthy as you are, than the first day you get into camps. That goes without saying. But you've also learned to live with these aches and pains and bumps and bruises. Because Jalen Hurts was a lot more injured than I thought he was, and then to go out and play through it the way he did, just goes to show the type of guy he is, show the type of teammate he is, and understanding and balancing what's really needed for this team at the point in which they were at. Mm-hmm. It's an absolute must that he had to play. And, just listening to the broadcast, they were like, he didn't want to play. That's what they said, that he didn't want to play, but he played anyways. I don't know if that's kind of build him up to be, the Dalai Lama or something, but still though, it's that's serious, man, that he played and didn't want to play.
Yeah.
He understood what what had to be done.
What was at stake. Yeah.
So,
and again, I thought they tried to do everything they could to keep him safe. It's hard to do on the football field. It's hard to do against guys just trying to make names for themselves. It's a hard thing to do.
The game plan was horrible still.
Yeah, and look, and it's part of the reason why I think it looked the way it looked. There's some positives, like when Boston Scott gets his opportunities, 9 rushes, 54 yards. We mentioned A.J. Brown and Devontae, what they were able to do. Jalen's numbers are very pedestrian, 20 of 35, 229 yards, didn't have a touchdown, had a pick, a 65 passer rating. It's nothing to write home about, right? But it was his presence alone, I think, helps you immensely offensively, helps you get the win. It also allows him to get out there and get some work. And really, I think we and the fans may be a little bit more concerned than the organization is about where things are. I think they kind of know that, hey, they played 2 weeks without their starting quarterback, and this week it was a compromised approach, almost a preseason approach, if you will. Everything will be fine. Just to exhale. Everybody exhale. I hope that's right. I hope that's the case, because I'm telling you, I don't like what I've been seeing from Driscoll, and I really wonder if Lane Johnson's going to be able to hold up. I really do.
You know what, what Jaskolski brings up a good one. I wanted to bring it up earlier. I'm glad he did. We need a punter.
Yeah, Kern's cooked.
That dude had a 26-yard punt yesterday.
Yeah, Kern's
I was like,
cooked.
what?
Nope. There's a reason he was on the street all year.
Right.
We're finding that out.
We need a punter. And I don't know if there's one available, a decent one available this time of year, to be honest.
The one we had wasn't much better than what he is right now. In fact,
I get that.
He still may be a little better.
He was better than what we have now.
You know what's interesting, though? Here's the thing. I agree with you guys 100% with the punter. But their special teams have really improved.
They have.
They are better almost across. Elliott's money, right? That's awesome to have that. But
Crash dummy.
Crash Dummy's returns have been pretty decent lately.
Right.
Crash Dummy.
You got to stop, drop, and roll, bro.
Hey, the whole game yesterday, I'm screaming, and Seth Joyner, Mike Missinelli, and Devin Caney are howling, laughing. I'm like, don't do it, Covey. Don't do it. Get down, Covey. Don't do it. Man, he took a couple shots yesterday.
I know.
On TV, I'm hearing pads going, pop, pop, pop. I'm like, don't do it, Covey.
I will say this. He's tough. I don't know how he gets up from some of this, man.
You ain't never lied, man.
But anyway, but they've been better at least, and the kick returns have been better, and I think things have looked cleaner. But punting's a problem. I don't know. Maybe Sippos, maybe he can come back.
Well, and you know what? Philiopolis brings up a good point. Look at this comment.
Matt Araiza. So he brings up the Matt Araiza. People who aren't familiar with him, he was the punter that Buffalo drafted. And was cleared of rape charges. There's a civil suit still hanging in the balance. But here's my guess, just my guess.
Ain't gonna happen.
They're not going to come anywhere near this.
No.
And my guess is, I think he will resurface somewhere with an opportunity next year with somebody.
I do too. I agree.
Yeah, right. Somewhere like that.
Agree. Or with the Raiders.
Jerry Jones loves to bring in, controversial figures.
Yeah. But my guess is it probably doesn't happen anywhere this year, just to let it cool a little would be my guess.
Yeah,
But
that's why if as good as he is, there's a reason no team has picked him up. They don't want that right now.
yeah, they just
don't
want
that kind of attention.
They want a little breathing space between everything that went
even
down,
though the dude is not guilty, I get it. You're right. Everybody deserves a second chance, but because of the nature of the incident he allegedly was involved in, that people don't want that distraction right now, especially a playoff team.
Yeah.
They don't want that distraction.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's look, I get it. I mean, the guy has unbelievable talent, like ridiculous. But that's something to keep your eye on. I agree with you guys. Barrett, your impressions of Driscoll, did it look any better? Did it look the same? Did it look worse? What? Okay, I can tell right now this isn't going to be good. Okay,
his gesture is exactly
I don't think he even needs to say anything with that. All right,
and we're talking about guys that shouldn't even be the guys he played against, or the guys he shouldn't even played against as a starter. He would have played against those guys as a starter.
That's right,
and yet they were still whooping his. Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah, so I mean, I am so glad that Lane is coming back. I hope he's coming back. We hope he's coming back because we need him in the worst way. You know, you sit back and you think about it. Lane is the best player on our team. He is the number one player on our team, bar none.
That's hard to argue.
Better than AJ, better than Hurts,
better than Jalen.
Daggone right, as far as who he is on the team, who he is in pro football. Bro, not even a sack in 2 years. Over 900 snaps this year. Over 900 snaps, no hits, no sacks.
Yeah, he's unreal. I think he's the best. Everybody would say right tackle. He's the best tackle in the game.
No question about it. I agree.
Because I mean, I just can't. I don't believe they're running the same offense. Well, they are running the same offense that they run when he's there, and it's not working. It's too much pressure. Jalen was running because there was too much pressure in his face. He was off because it's too much. The interception he threw, well, it should have been a sack.
Yeah.
By given up by Driscoll.
Right.
I beat. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this about the interception. I thought that it was like Jalen treated it like a free play. That's what I was thinking. Because
it did feel like that. It really did feel like that, Barrett. You're right.
I thought it was a free, how you just get or as a free play because it's on them. They jumped off sides or something.
Was there a hold on the Eagles? Was there a flag thrown on that play?
There was no flag on that play.
No, it was a flag on the play, right?
Wait.
Man, I'd have to go back and look. I know obviously the play before that got called back. I don't know.
No, it was a flag on the play because that's what they said. Flag on the play, and it says, but it still doesn't rule out the
Yes, it was a holding on the offensive line.
Okay, so maybe Jalen thought it was against the defense and he took a shot. Maybe.
Right. That's what I'm thinking it was.
Yep.
Because
it did feel like that.
Through it, yeah.
Because that was uncharacteristic. I mean, was the three guys around him. I mean, it was
three white jerseys standing there.
Yeah, bad idea in general.
Yeah, it was holding on the offensive line.
Look, I really do. Let me go glass half full as far as Jalen goes. I think it's important that he got back out there, got his feet wet a little bit for the first time in a bit. Maybe showed himself, all right, it's sore, but I can manage this. Okay. And was still able to have, let's face it, AJ and Devontae had pretty good days. AJ 4 for 95 and Devontae 7 for 67. It's not like he didn't have any kind of connection with them. Dallas was okay. But he got a little something going with those guys at least. So I'm going to take something away. It's that he got out there and played.
Barrett, why won't they play Dillard? I want to hear your answer, then I'll give you my theory.
He's a data boy guy. He's a data boy. If you don't treat him like a data boy, meaning, all right, data boy, good job, data boy. If you don't build up his confidence, he can't do it himself. And then you're in the NFL, you got to be able to do that yourself. You got to be able to go out there and whoop some tail, on your own. And he's one of those guys, I think, that if he doesn't start, then he can't really go out there and play at the tackle position at a high enough level. So, I mean, to me, that's what I think it is. He's a data boy guy.
I couldn't have said it much better. That's
Okay.
exactly what I'm thinking. He is a guy.
I don't think they like him.
And now Rob, Rob, okay. Well, okay. Now let me ask you this, Rob. Why don't you think they like him?
I don't think they feel like he is a gamer. I think you said if you said to my Lotta, dude, you got to pop to the right side, man. I know it's it's not perfect, but you got to do it. He'd do it. I think Dillard, you get a sigh or a complaint That's not an inside thing. That's me from 1,000 yards away.
My pinkies, it might be broke right now.
Yeah, I feel like they don't. He's not going to do whatever it takes for the team. Maybe I'm wrong.
I will just add this: Dillard is a player that has to be treated with kid gloves. Okay, you don't know what emotional state he is from play to play, series to series, game to game. And I don't know if they trust him in that regard. See, if you can't trust the guy, you can't put him out on the field.
Yeah.
Because it's quite obvious now for 2 games. And as I said on our pregame show yesterday, Dillard in this game against the Giants is auditioning for playoff time. And for the second week in a row, I came away saying, you can't put this man out on the field. But you have a former first-round pick sitting on your sideline that you don't even look at, which tells me they don't know what he's going to do or what he's going to give them play to play. Now, it's quite obvious because Jeff Stoutland said this, I believe it was 2021. Well, Dillard's more comfortable on the left side than he is the right side. So out of all your offensive linemen, outside of your center position, and obviously Lane Johnson's not going anywhere, although Lane has shifted over to the left side in an emergency situation, you have to treat one guy with kid gloves because his psyche on the right side may be a big liability. Even though he's a first-round pick and you cross-train all your offensive linemen except the centers, you still can't trust him enough to put him in there. That Giants game was a perfect opportunity to get Dillard some reps in that game.
Or just to put him out there and to see what he can do, man.
That's what I said. Get him some reps.
Yeah.
Against that team, the second and third unit. Get him out there, get him some reps. Get his feet wet. Let me see where he is mentally right now.
I do think the guy's talented. Like, don't confuse at least some of the things. I don't want to speak for you guys too, but for me, what I'm saying, like, I think he'll walk next year and he'll be a starting left tackle somewhere next year. I do. I think he's got talent, but things have to be really perfect, and it's got to be a really good situation for him. And when there's a little bit of adversity, I'm not sure how well he will respond.
Whoever grabs him, if he does walk, whoever grabs him will grab him with the mindset he can help our offensive line significantly. We can plug him and play him. Then when you start working with him, it's like, oh, geez, we didn't know this. We didn't know this.
We was just playing.
Yeah, I was just playing. I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean to give you that much money. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We need that back.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. I mean, I think he is one of the people that will be departing. I do. I think he'll be departing. I wish he was more flexible. He's not. And maybe he knows himself better than anybody else. If he goes over there, he's going to be a turnstile. I don't know. But
see,
it's frustrating.
Rob, you can't do that, Rob. You just can't do that.
Yeah, I'm giving him an out. It's not right. You're right.
Right, because, I played left tackle from my freshman year of college all the way up until my 5th year in the league. And then they said, look, my 4th year in the league. Look, if you want to play, you got to play on the right side because we're going to start Trey.
Right.
Trey Thomas is starting.
Right.
Now, either you want to play, you go to the right side.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't play on the right side, then you just ain't playing this year. And I learned that joke in 2 days. I was a starting right tackle. It's all about want to and will to and knowing you got to. How do you as a backup player just out now defy everything and say I'm not going to the right side?
There you go.
How can that happen? We got soft quarter. We got soft coaches. because that wouldn't have happened.
Coaches.
Ray Rose would have like, get your ass over there. Get on over there. Get your ass over there. Get that right hand stand. All right.
Maybe. And all right, let me play devil's advocate. Maybe Stoutland has tried that and said, we need you to move over, and he won't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, he went over there and then stunk it up.
Right.
And keeps stinking it up because he just don't want to do it. I've never seen anything. That's the damnest thing I've ever seen in my life. I have never experienced anything like that in my life. I have never seen that before in my life.
What does that tell you about the psyche of the young man?
If it's that bad, then maybe he doesn't need to be playing football. He needs some data boys.
Where we're going to see it when he's elsewhere. The test is going to be next year. Like we'll find out. We're going to find out a lot about him next year for sure. All right, let's come back and dig into some defense here. Things we like, troubling trends. Barrett, I want to get your take on them using CJ GJ in the slot yesterday.
Loved it.
I thought you would. So we'll discuss that when we come back. There's a lot to dig into. Coming up at 1:30, we will go full-blown into the playoff schedule for the wild card weekend. At 2 o'clock, it's already been Black Monday, man. There have been a few people gotten their pink slip, which we'll dive into, and all the action that went down yesterday that got us to where we are as we head into the wild card weekend. So don't go anywhere. He's Barrett. He's Derek. I'm Rob. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. I'm going to tell you right now about Pro Action Restoration. Yes, Pro Action Restoration. That's the place you turn to if you have a business, you have a home, you have a property, and you get smoke, you get fire, you get mold damage, you name it. They're the people you reach out to because Pro Action Restoration is on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist. I can attest to this because I reached out to them on a Saturday when I wasn't sure if they were going to be around or anybody else was going to be around. Not only did they get right back to me and got to my parents' house with the quickness, they fixed the problem, diagnosed what the issue was, cleaned up all the water that was in their basement, which was a disaster. The price was right. The crew was professional and clean. It was a great experience. They are licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company. So it could be fire, could be water, could be smoke, could be mold damage, could be something else. Just reach out. They will let you know. 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or you can reach out to them online as well. ProActionRestoration.com. That's ProActionRestoration.com.
Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Rams starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
with Seth Joyner,
I knew that they had a running game.
Derek Gunn,
He has put in the effort.
Devin Caney,
Had we not won the Super Bowl, what would we be saying?
and Mike Missinelli.
Well, you know who Philly is.
Post game, now streaming on the 6ABC family of apps.
All right, we're back. Yes, we're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network on what is kind of a weird Monday, right? The regular season comes to a close. The Eagles get the 1 seed. They set a franchise record for wins, and you would think normally if that was the circumstance, people would just be through the roof. Just, 2 weeks, can't wait till they play. But there's a little fear, little trepidation, for sure. And Gunner, you're muted.
Don't use the word fear. Don't do it.
There is
Don't do it.
trepidation.
You start using the word fear, people accuse you of being scared. Well,
I know. Like here's the thing. They end up setting a club record for sacks. They were a team that for the most part throughout the year, although it slowed down as we mentioned, took the ball away at a pretty good rate. They were a team that, in a lot of ways, if you look at it in terms of points allowed and those kind of things, it reflects a really good defense. But we know that there have been struggles against really good quarterbacks. There have been struggles when the Eagles are in a zone. Some run defense concerns, although, it was a big concern, then it wasn't. Now it's kind of crept back a little bit. There's just a lot of different ways that you can look at it. And I think you go into a playoff setting with a team who could get after the quarterback with good defensive backs, you should be okay. Like, you should be fine. But there are things that have you a little bit worried right now, I think, about this team. And I think it's fair, and some stuff is just bad luck. Like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, Hassan Reddick maybe could have had 3 sacks. Like, I don't know how Davis Webb wiggled out of a couple of those, honestly.
Absolutely. You're right.
So some of it is just, inches and just weird stuff happens. But there are other things like Brightwell shouldn't be able to rip off some of the runs that he was ripping off, and Lawrence Cager, who I know we were all so familiar with coming into this game.
I'm looking up and down the roster. Who?
Yeah, 8 catches, 69 yards. Like, that stuff's got to be cleaned up because your ones are out there. It's not like your 3s are out there. It's your ones.
But Rob, that's the nature of the beast. We analyze, and I mean media across the board. We analyze, give in depth, insight, but there's always the unseen elements that we can't account for, And when you're talking about a game of inches and in centimeters, you look at some of the passes that are completed, the difference between a fraction of a second of a DB getting there and him not getting there. A second effort or lack thereof of a running back, one more push, he would have got that additional first down yardage, but didn't. It's the nature of the beast, man, and it's going to happen. And you hope 9 times out of 10, those little things weigh in your favor, but we don't know. You just don't, and especially, and I cannot emphasize this enough. After watching this entire season, I don't know what the heck to expect moving forward, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like here's what I expect. I do think the pass rush, no matter who they're playing against, is going to be there. I worry that they're going to struggle to stop the run. And I worry that a good quarterback because of some of the passivity of the defense is going to hurt them.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't, because we're just getting the band back together. What you saw there, yes, we were going against second teams, but we won the game. You're going to have instances where we probably dropped 5 picks yesterday. 5 at the very least. You look at Slay. Slay dropped 2 by himself.
Right.
Bradbury dropped 1.
Epps dropped 1.
Epps dropped 1. And what's his name? The linebacker, 57.
TJ Edwards.
TJ Edwards dropped 1. That's 5 interceptions. Just like you said, we could have had 5 or 6 sacks that just didn't happen. We got the guy that's grasped and he throws it out of bounds. That's a good job by him.
Mm-hmm.
Things just, I mean, come on now. Kenny Galladay has done nothing the entire season.
Nope.
He had like 60 yards total offense, 4 catches for like 60 yards heading into this game. Then all of a sudden he catches a 40-yard bomb.
A great catch and a great throw. Great throw. But Barrett,
that's not
it goes
likely,
back.
though. That's not likely.
Yeah, but Barrett, it goes back to what I'm saying. How many wild plays have we seen across the league this year?
Exactly.
It's going to happen for this team, and it's going to happen against this team.
Yep.
And you hope if it happens against this team, it doesn't come at a crucial moment of a game. But Davis Webb, who had never thrown an NFL pass, had been in the league since 2017, had never thrown a regular season NFL pass, and looked like the Keystone Cop back there for much of the game, running away from would-be sack masters. He makes one throw, the perfect throw, and Galladay, who is basically the Jesse James of the NFL, been stealing money for 2 years, makes an incredible catch. The coverage was perfect by Slay.
Oh, it was an incredible catch. Incredible.
But we've seen these wild plays all year, and they're going to happen throughout the play. We're going to be sitting here next week talking about wild plays.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Eagles play, we're going to be talking about wild plays. We hoping whoever they play does not create enough wild plays to have us sitting there talking about what in the world happened.
Yeah, I look, and I think there's a lot of good here. They were 8th in points, right? They gave up 20 points per game. If you look at what they did against the pass, they're number 1. Gave up 179 yards per game in the passing game. That's first in football. Running game, it's pedestrian. It's above average, but it's not great. They gave up 121 on the ground. It's okay. It's not terrible. They took the ball away and they get after the quarterback. The problem is it's very lopsided early with the takeaways compared to what it is now. They have to just find that balance again, and they got to get back to playing the way that they were playing earlier in the year. Some of that is just a matter of hanging on to those interceptions, and some of it is your pass rush is going to create some of this too. I mean, let's not lose sight of the fact that I think Hassan Reddick has like 5 forced fumbles. He's a guy who was a turnover creator waiting to happen, and letting him loose. But I just think too, it's probably pretty good odds you get Sweat back. You have Sweat, BG, and Hassan Reddick, not to mention the rotation in the inside. That defensive line is I feel good about them.
I do too.
I do.
In terms of depth, versatility, interchangeable parts, no question about it. I feel really good about this D line. They got to tighten up the run game a little bit.
That's an issue.
But I feel pretty good about the personnel, especially with Sweat coming back, because as we know, this defense is going to force a lot of teams to throw the football more than they want to. And that plays right into the hands of what they want to do up front. Whether they're sending the odd man blitzer or not, that's going to play into the hands, and especially playing that game in their backyard. That's a big plus for a home team.
Yeah. Yeah. That you're right. And that can't be overlooked. The fact that simple math, and you don't have to play you play one less game while other teams are out there banging heads and beating each other up, and all your games are going to be home, is so big for this team. I mean, whoever has to, whatever the situation, if it's San Fran, they got to come from the West Coast. If it's Dallas, they got to come in here. It's really a huge piece of this thing. That's why, as ugly as it was, you really accomplished something yesterday, which they needed to accomplish. Robert Quinn, Big William makes a point. Robert Quinn actually showed up yesterday a couple times.
Had 2 or 3 pressures.
Yep.
Well,
you got to get to him.
I'll leave Quinn's name out of this. I'm not saying anything.
He might not even be active for the playoffs.
You guys go ahead. I have nothing to say.
I'm just saying he showed up for the first time in a while. That's all. I'm not predicting 8 sacks in the postseason for Robert Quinn.
Right. We're not thinking that, but I mean, he contributed, man. You got to understand he contributed. So I'm not gonna hate on him for that. He contributed. That's all I needed him to do. That's all I need him to do. So he got it done. He got it done. So yeah, Quinn, man, he was he was there.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying a word. Next topic.
Right, because I was gonna try to. I can't do it.
You're getting it out of it. You're not getting anything out of it.
I can't.
Okay, so but more importantly, tell me where you guys are here. Where you guys are with this defense.
I'm good with the defense, bro. I really am good with it. I'm good with it. And you know, I'm the eternal optimist, but I also understand that you're getting guys back healthy that need to play. We need CJGJ to play. You see, he was around the football all day long. Mm-hmm. And that's what I need him to be. I need him to be, he's not to say he's at his natural position right now, at the slot corner.
Yep. I like that. Yeah, I like that move.
Reed Blankenship played at a high level, made some crucial tackles, got his ass ran over though, but yeah, it happens. It happens.
Every defensive player who ever played the game gets freight trained every once in a while.
And that's a big quarterback too. It's a big quarterback.
That's a big boy, man. What, 6'5", like 230 or something
he's got
like
some
that?
size. He's got some. He's not skinny either.
That's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's way bigger than what's his name. So that's boy.
All right, let me give you the
he got trucked.
Yeah, he did get trucked. So in terms of takeaways, the Eagles finish tied for fourth. Actually tied for third, sorry. Cowboys had 33. Patriots and 49ers had 30. And the Bills, the Eagles, the Jags, and the Texans, I don't know how, all were tied with 27.
How about
they're right there?
How about he gets the Texans coach gets fired?
Yeah, which we're gonna get. Let's do it now then. Like they are a disgrace of an organization. So last year, David Culley gets the gig and is a sacrificial lamb because everybody knew they had no prayer. They elevate Lovey from the defensive coordinator position, and again, you knew going in they were going to be bad. It was like a punt kind of year. And then they fire him after. I for the life of me, what did you expect Culley and or Lovey to do differently with a total dearth of talent on a roster? But here's what was great. Want to hear what was great? Lovey knew it was coming, right? Lovey's no dummy.
Right.
Lovey went balls to the wall in the game.
Yep.
And goes 2-point conversion, which they get, which cost them the first pick. They end up getting the second overall pick. That was a bleep you to McNair and the ownership. And I love it, by the way. Love it.
Took him out of the first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing.
But the Bears aren't taking a quarterback anyway.
That's what I'm saying. The good thing the Bears aren't taking a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. So, I get it. But if you could do anything to screw them out the door, not only that, he's going to get paid for a couple of years, which is great too.
Yep.
That's the fourth coach they've had in 4 years.
Yeah.
Who in their right mind with any credibility would want that job?
Gannon.
Who?
Gannon.
Steichen. Maybe.
I mean, look, at some point, though, you realize maybe it's not all these guys you're running out of here. It's you.
Right.
If you have a mirror somewhere near you.
No.
How do you, and the thing I didn't like was I saw people on social media this morning saying, it's racist by the Houston Texans. You fired 2 black head coaches after 1 year. And then somebody countered with a good point. Was it racist that Denver fired Nathaniel Hackett in less than a year? Okay. I mean,
I hear you.
People want to pop their racist card. They're just a bad run organization. And I think the GM has stepped away again for an indefinite period of time.
He's out. They have come to a mutual parting of the ways.
Okay. So he's out.
Are you talking about in Arizona? Or are you talking about?
I'm sorry. That's the Arizona GM. But
Houston's guy is still there. Nick Cassero, he's still there. But Keim in Arizona has stepped away, and they fired Kingsbury. By the way, extended both guys in the offseason.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. How stupid
talking about
can you
there
be?
is some bad run. Appreciate the Eagles, man, because there's some really bad run organizations.
Houston is going to have to find if I'm a guy who's potentially taking over this Houston team, I want to guarantee now that you're going to give me at least 3 years. You are a team devoid of talent. You have a decent running back. You have decent personnel on defense, but you have nothing else. I'm not coming in here one and done. You've done that to 2 predecessors. And oh, by the way, 2 predecessors who were highly respected, David Culley and Lovie Smith across the National Football League. I want to guarantee that you're giving me 3 years to help turn this thing around. Minimum 3 years. That's what the average coach gets now in the NFL, 3 years. If not, I want nothing to do with your organization. I don't care how much you offer me. Yeah, I don't care how much you offer me money-wise. No, I'm not coming here one and done, especially if I have a family. I'm not moving my family here just for 1 year. Now, unless you can put in writing, you are guaranteed a job for 3 years. And if I don't do the job after 3 years, so be it. I'll be happy to walk away because I didn't do what I came down here to do. But if you can't give me 3 years to help turn this thing around, then I want nothing to do with this organization. Now, you say Steichen and Gannon would take that job. I agree, but if I'm them, Houston is last on my list of potential teams. If I have multiple teams that are interested in me, Houston's last on my list. If the organizations I think I could get decide to go in another direction, then I look at Houston because I wanted on my resume I was a head coach in the National Football League. Okay? But if you can't give me that guarantee and that commitment for 3 years, why should I commit my life to you if I'm going to drag my family from Philadelphia or wherever down here? There's no way I'm taking your job.
I agree.
So you're just gonna take a 3-year deal, or are you taking a 5-year deal, but you got to give me 3?
No, it's years, but it's also like, what's the plan?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's going to be different from the last 2 guys that you ran out of here, in 2 seconds?
Now the quarterback crop is supposed to be much better than it was last year. It's also loaded in tight ends as well. So you might get a good tight end in the second round. So here we are, a team that's in a position to get a quarterback, tight end, and whatever else we need in the future in this draft. We all know it takes 2 to 3 years for a quarterback to develop in this league, i.e. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, so on and so forth. I'm trying to meet you halfway, Barrett, and I'm sitting across the table from you in Houston. You the Houston management. I would like a 5-year, but just give me 3 guaranteed. I don't even want the 5-year. Give me a 3-year guaranteed contract. That's all I ask. And then we sit down after 3 years and discuss where we are. If you don't want me here, I'm out. I have no problem leaving because I'll get a job somewhere else as a position coach, as a coordinator somewhere else. I'm out. But if I do the job, then we talk extension. And if I talk extension, I want an additional 3-year extension.
Yep.
Not a 1, not a 2. I want a 3-year extension to see this thing through.
I hear you. And I think I'd be real leery unless I was just, hey, trying to get my first gig or whatever, I'd be real leery of getting anywhere near that place. That's just me.
Yeah.
But anyway, gonna be interesting.
I like the city of Houston. I've been there a number of times. I like Houston as a city.
Yeah.
A little hot in the summer, but has great everything else. But you can't do it for 1 year. You're not going to one and done me.
Yeah. I got you. All right, let's come back and we're going to dig into everything NFL at 2:00. But when we come back, we're going to look at the upcoming schedule for this weekend: Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games. So looking forward to that. We will do that all when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Right now, we're going to tell you about Flynn Tree Services. Yes, Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem that you may face. So if you have any types of issues in your yard or on your property, they're just a quick phone call away. And they're experts at trimming all types of trees, and they serve southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and northern Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, as well as tree pruning. Keep in mind, we're getting close to just a heavy, heavy part of winter, right? We get some hurricane stuff, some winds, all those kind of things. It's a great time to get your trees evaluated before you have a bigger problem on your hands. Go to their Facebook or Instagram page for more information or a sampling of their work. Give Flynn Tree Services a call at 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or online at flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.
Go for the beers, go for the cheers, go for the hit and the hits, go for the scene, go for the screens, go for the gallery, go for the win, go to Ocean.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for a December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Rams starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Game Show with Seth Joyner.
I knew that they had a running game.
Derek Gunn.
He has put in the effort.
Devin Caney.
Had we not won the Super Bowl, what would we be saying?
And Mike Missinelli.
Well, you know who Philly is.
Post game, now streaming on the 6ABC family of apps.
We are back, baby. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, and Rob Ellis hanging out with you on this Monday. All right, guys. So the way it sets up, some surprises, right? Some things that went down yesterday some teams that needed some help, but also took care of their business. The way the schedule looks for next weekend, we have 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then 1 on Monday. So Saturday, 4:30, you have Seattle against San Francisco. The game's in San Francisco. You have the Chargers and the Jaguars. That is the 8:15 game on Saturday. That game in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is the division winner of the AFC South, which we'll get to in a minute. The Dolphins take on the Bills. Dolphins, it was hideously ugly, but they got the win. But they will go to Buffalo at 1 o'clock on Sunday. 4:30, Giants at the Vikings. Giants at the Vikings at 4:30. 8:15, Ravens at the Bengals. And then Monday night, also at 8:15, Cowboys at the Bucks. No surprise there that's the Monday night game. It's the Cowboys. It's Brady. That's buku ratings no matter what. It's also Buck and Aikman with the Cowboys ties. That one makes a lot of sense. The 4:30 game, it had to be. You knew that game wasn't going to be a 1 o'clock game because it's Seattle and San Francisco. That much you knew. So let's go through it. Let's go Saturday here. Seattle has just an unbelievable season where most of us thought that they were going to be vying for the number 1 overall pick, and they're a playoff team. And Geno Smith, just a comeback player of the year in some people's eyes. It'll probably be Saquon Barkley, but I think Geno was incredible against that Niners team that's won 10 straight going into the playoffs. That's the early game on Saturday.
Man, let me tell you something. Niners going to beat the brakes off Seattle.
Yeah, I don't think it's close.
They look like they stole something.
Going to beat the brakes off Seattle.
Yeah.
This D'Amico Ryan's defense, man, they like swarming bees. And Geno's had a fun. Geno, by getting in the playoffs, earned $3.5 million in incentives this year.
That much?
$3.5 million for playing 80% of the snaps, getting in the playoffs, and passing for over 4,000 yards.
Man, that's a lot.
Kudos to him, because
Yes.
you consider what he was making. Dude, that's a nice piece of Christmas money right there. Did you also know that every game in the first round on Wild Card Weekend is a rematch from the regular season? And so
They've all played. Yeah,
they've
that's
all played
crazy.
against each other. Isn't that something?
That really is.
Every game is a rematch from the regular season.
Huh.
I think Seattle, because it's a division game, they played them tougher the second time. San Fran beat them 27-7 the first time, and then beat them 21-13 the second time. Played them, but you got to play this game in San Francisco's backyard. And now that Debo's back as well, first of all, Barrett said it a number of times. I've said it a number of times. The fact that the 49ers were able to get Christian McCaffrey for that offense was a crime.
Well, why didn't we get him?
You got everybody else. How many players you want? You got everybody else.
Just to keep him from being and kind of fortifying that offense. You know what I'm saying? Because he kind of solidified that offense, man. Why couldn't we get him just to keep him off San Fran's team?
What he does for that offense in both the running game and the passing game is
ridiculous.
Simply incredible.
Yep.
He is basically the security blanket for Brock Purdy, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I didn't think Debo was going to play, but I thought they were going to save Debo for the playoffs. When Mr. Taz says, D-Gun, did you just agree with Barrett Brooks? I told you, Mr. Taz, it's a kinder, nicer, gentler version of D-Gun, at least for the month of January. We'll see how it pans out as February, March, and April roll around. But as of January, I'm trying to be a kinder version of all three personalities are trying to be a kinder version of myself. But
and you look at all caps, Philiopolis.
What?
Brock Purdy is not coming into the league and beating the Eagles.
Probably not.
Brock Purdy is not coming into the league and beating Philly.
But this is not, and I agree, Philiopolis. I agree, Mr. Brook. This is more than just Brock Purdy. I mean, I don't think we're looking at the bigger picture here. Name another team that pulls a third-string quarterback off the scrap heap, put him in a pressure-packed situation against Miami. The dude hit the ground running like he had been a starting quarterback all season. That is a direct credit to the coaching staff for what they did with this young man.
Right.
That is a direct compliment to the organization for surrounding this young man with incredible talent on both sides of the football that takes a lot of pressure off him.
You're right.
Now, if you had put him on that Miami team, he would have floundered.
Yep.
Because Miami's not that team. You put him in Baltimore, he would have floundered. Miami's not that offense. But San Francisco, all they needed was a manager. All they needed. The fact that they're down to the number 3 quarterback and won 10 games in a row tells you this is not just about Brock Purdy. People keep talking about it's Brock Purdy. And I agree with one thing. Brock Purdy has to show me he can do it in playoffs. The intensity, the pressure is 100 times greater in a playoff scenario than it is a regular season.
You get that.
But the fact that they surrounded this dude with all this talent, from Debo to Christian to George Kittle to the running backs now, who Elijah Moore's back, the running backs, he's back now. The dude reminds me of Trent Dilfer in 2000, basically, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, what McCaffrey's brought, Kittle's got 7 touchdowns in the last 4 games. He's really come on.
And who's throwing on the ball?
Yeah, Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
But the other thing is, and I think this will be a fun debate tomorrow. Coach of the year is going to be a really tough call. I mean, if you think about it, right? Shanahan's on his 3rd quarterback, right? Brian Dable, with very little talent, has the Giants as a 6th seed. Dan Campbell did an amazing job.
Yep.
Mike Tomlin did an unbelievable job. Sean McDermott has had to traverse some crazy stuff, man.
Yes.
You're right.
Okay.
Right.
Craziness this year. Sirianni's got a team with 14 wins.
Dougie P
took them from Urban Meyer hell to the playoffs.
In 1 year.
Okay. I mean, there are a lot, and I'm missing, I'm sure, a couple here, and Shanahan, obviously. But there are a lot of candidates you could really go to bat for,
bro.
With Coach of the Year.
Seattle being in the playoff.
Oh my goodness.
Pete Carroll, man.
Without Russell. without Russell.
Right.
With like the 31st defense.
Right.
And they're in the playoffs.
And then, I just don't understand how teams like the Bucks get into the playoffs with that record.
That's disgusting.
Their record is worse than ours last year.
That's disgusting.
At least we won 9 games last
have a home game too. Like, I'm glad Dallas has to go on the road. Don't get me wrong, but still,
bro, it would be poetic justice.
The perfect capper is to watch Dak Prescott throw 3 pick sixes in that game Monday night.
Yeah,
that'd be the perfect capper of the wild card weekend.
I hear you. But yeah, that one is going to be interesting to keep your eye on. The comeback player of the year, coach of the year is fascinating. But I'm with you, Derek. I think the Niners just smoke Seattle in that game.
Yeah.
All right, nightcap.
Yeah.
You got the Jags and the Chargers. So yesterday, Brandon Staley plays his starters and goes all out.
Yep.
Mike Williams gets hurt. Bosa gets hurt again.
Yep.
Herbert is taking, he stayed in there, but he took all kinds of shots, like in the pocket, as he has all year. And Staley's getting widely crushed from a lot of people around football.
And rightfully so, because the Chargers knew before kickoff that they were the 5 seed and couldn't move up or move down.
They were locked in. Yep.
Why are you guys out there? And Mike Williams taking off on a cart? Your big pass catcher's taking off on a cart. And you got to play a game now this Saturday on a short week, possibly without your best receiver.
Bro, that's such a blessing. We didn't have anybody hurt in this game, bro.
You're right.
We played our starters the entire game.
You're right.
Yeah,
but you had to.
All you had was Boston Scott with the head injury. I'm not saying that's nothing, but it appears he's going to be okay. But that's it. Yeah, so they got fortunate. But yeah, so and the Jags hosting a home game. Now I didn't think Jacksonville played necessarily great. They left there's a couple plays that Trevor Lawrence normally would make in his sleep that he didn't make. I think he'll be a little bit sharper in this game. Kind of a toss-up game for me.
Same here.
If I'm leaning anywhere, I'm probably leaning more Jacksonville. But toss-up game.
I'll tell you what impressed me about Trevor Lawrence. There was one play in a game against Tennessee. He rolled to his left, stopped, and threw a frozen rope back across the field on the other side for a completion.
Yeah.
His arm strength is incredible, And Dougie P has done wonders with that kid.
Yes.
I'm all about that D line, man. That defense of theirs, bro.
Yeah.
They have some tackling
defense.
machines.
Oh man, they're nasty, man. They are nasty. Excuse me. Walker, the first round pick in this draft, he's finally getting up there and playing and learning how to be an NFL defensive end.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Devin Lloyd, balling out of control. I'm not even gonna say 23's name, and I'm just gonna say 23 because I don't even know how to say whatever his name is. Maybe you say it, Derek.
What? Who? Jacksonville?
Foyesade.
Oh, the tackling machine.
Yeah, Foyesade.
Who came over from the Falcons.
Yeah.
Man, that dude, he might be the most underrated player in football.
He and Josh Allen run around. Josh Allen and Lloyd run around like they're track stars.
Yeah, it's Foyesade Aluwoken.
Here we go.
Who had 184 tackles this year. $184.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Alex Singleton had 163 for the Broncos, former Eagle.
Yeah, they're not impact tackles, but they're tackles.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I'm gonna get this right. Let's see here.
Are you gonna pronounce it? Are you gonna take a shot?
Yeah, I went to the well to try to find this one. Here we go.
All right.
Let me see. I got to go to last names first. Last name starts with F. Okay. See if it's in here. It better be in here so I pull this up. Let's see. E. I'm down to E's. Got the F's here. They probably didn't even put it in there. I'm going to the NFL pronunciation guide. They didn't even put his name in here.
That's disrespect right there.
That's disgusting, man.
That's what that is. That is not right.
What the heck?
I just pronounced it for you. You're good to go.
Are you confident that's correct?
No. Foyesade Aluwoken.
Man, that's
I'm
pretty
not
good,
confident.
bro.
Aluwoken.
Yeah, I'm not confident.
Aluwoken.
Oh, you know what? I was looking at the wrong damn name. My bad.
All right. Anyway, let's
Go ahead.
keep
going. Keep going.
All right. So let's jump into Sunday now. So they're the two Saturdays. The first game Sunday is the Dolphins and the Bills. Of course, we know how unbelievably emotional this past week has been for the Bills, and good for them. I mean, they're going to be carrying that, I think, emotion. Good for them, meaning good for them the way they handled everything, and the way they dedicated everything to DeMar Hamlin. But I think they're going to be carrying that emotion right into the playoffs, and they're already a really good team. To have both of those components going for you, that wave that they're on right now is going to be really fascinating to watch. It really is. I mean, he is. They to take that kickback, you can't script it. You can't make it up. People would think you were just rating some bad movie that was too sappy, for that to even happen. Honest to God, that's incredible.
That's
incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing to say the least.
The emotional level that generated when you considered what they had gone through that entire week. You knew they didn't want to play that game, even though they got the good word from there. But to start the game off with a play like that, that place went nuts. And then he returns another one later in the game also.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, you're right, Rob. You can't write a script better than that.
No.
To get that place jumping. Everybody's on pins and needles, and everybody's more, worried about the young man than the game, and rightfully so. But then all of a sudden he does that. It becomes football. Boom. For 3 hours, it was just adrenaline pumping football. And that play set the tone for the game, the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question about it. So that you have that side of it, and Buffalo, as good as they are, on top of all the DeMar stuff, and he continues to keep, progressing. And, you saw, I don't know if you saw some of the pictures of him in his hospital bed. He's got his 3 hat on and is surrounded by family. Awesome. FaceTiming guys. He FaceTimes Miles Sanders before the game. They talked before the game. It was really cool. Against the Dolphins team, guys, that really kind of limped into this thing. They beat the Jets 11-6. Here's the problem. Who's playing quarterback? Is it Skylar Thompson? Is it Teddy Bridgewater? Have we seen the last of Tua this year? We just don't know. And that's Miami's got some really good players, but that's ultimately it. Skylar Thompson couldn't do anything against the Jets yesterday. Do we think he's doing anything against the Bills?
No.
In a playoff game?
No. I think because it's a division game, it'll be a close game for a while, and then Buffalo will assert its dominance, and that game it'll be good night. As players like to do, it'll be one of these. Put them to sleep. They'll put Miami to sleep real quick. Know. Although that last Miami game was an interesting game. That was with Tua under center when they scored 29 points in Buffalo and only lost by 3. But Tua, to be honest.
Can he come back?
I think Miami's really worried about putting him back out on the field because of all the national attention that they've gotten for allowing this young man to play as much as he did. I mean,
exactly.
He finished that game against Green Bay and was concussed, but it wasn't diagnosed. He didn't feel bad until Monday. But because of what happened earlier in the season and you let him play, you got concussed on a Sunday, you let him play again on a Thursday, I think they're going to be overly cautious with this situation and shut him down.
Yeah.
As they should.
I think you're right, Derek.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if we saw him again this year. Really
if I see him in a White Castle hoodie, I know he ain't playing.
He got a White Castle hoodie on. He is coming out there and dominating.
He ain't playing. He ain't playing because he don't know what he's wearing. So
Dolphins by 50 if he's wearing one of those.
Right.
So your 4:30 game, another one really interesting here. Giants and the Vikings. Now, these two met earlier in the year, if you remember. And the Vikings won 27-24. It was a really good game. And it was later in the year, so you get kind of a gauge of, where those teams were. It wasn't early where you become a completely different team. It was Christmas Eve, 27-24 game. Jones had a big game for the Giants in that game. But anyway, tight line too. Yeah, I was looking at some of these lines for the games next week. That the line in that Minnesota game is the Vikings are only -3. And the Jags, by the way, are -1 in their game.
What?
Yeah, Jags are -1 against the Chargers. The other lines are like the 49ers are favored by 10. The Bills are favored by 10.5. The Bengals are favored by 6.5. That's another game you have no idea who the quarterback's going to be for Baltimore. And then the Cowboys and the Bucks. Cowboys are -3 on the road against Tom Terrific in Tampa Bay.
Wow. So that means what as far as the line?
That means the Vegas thinks the Vegas is favoring the Cowboys in a big way. A road team minus the points against Tom Brady. What it tells you about the Giants game is they think this is almost a toss-up game. Usually it's about 2.5 points to 3 points for the home team. So they feel like this is
in the dome.
In the dome.
Minnesota playing at 4:30. Kirk Cousins is doomed.
Doomed.
That applies to 4:30 too. It has to just be 1 o'clock for him.
So we got a good chance of playing the Giants again next week.
Yep.
Or 2 weeks rather.
Yep.
Unless you have a Seattle upset, which I don't foresee happening against San Francisco, because Seattle's a 7 seed. Giants are a 6. Eagles get the lowest seed.
Well, I think the Giants can beat them, to be honest.
No, I think the Giants can beat the Vikings for sure.
Well, I'm saying. So we know the 49ers are going to beat Seattle. We know that.
Okay, you're assuming that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming that.
If the Giants win, it would be the Giants.
And the Giants beat the Vikings, we're gonna play the Giants.
Yep.
Correct. If let's just say Seattle loses and the Giants lose, if Dallas wins, you get Dallas because they're the 5 seed. Even though they had a better record than Tampa Bay, it doesn't matter. Tampa Bay won the division, so they're a higher seed.
Yeah, I'm not too confident in Minnesota's ability to stop anybody.
No.
Have they played before? They played before, right?
Yeah,
they played a few weeks ago.
Vikings beat them Christmas Eve at 3-point game.
Right.
There. Yeah. So they took care of business. All right, we could have come back. Let's get into what's happened here. Who's been fired? Who's not? Who's surviving? Some of the other things that went down yesterday. The Packers going down. A lot of other things to dive into. The Cowboys, which we really haven't given enough time to, and we will. Trust me, we will. For all the Cowboy weasels in the chat who have been hiding.
Where are they at? Where for art thou?
Yeah,
right now on the stream.
Yep,
they go down.
Dak the pick machine throws another one yesterday, so we will dive into
the NFL in picks.
Yeah, he's got 15 and 12 games.
15,
Incredible. All right, so we'll do that when we come back. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, I am Rob Ellis. All right, so protecting data. And we're talking Razor technology now, but protecting data is a security imperative for businesses of all sizes. Choose a partner like Razor Technology with expertise in the latest threats and proactive tools to lock down every endpoint with a zero trust approach that makes certain only authorized users can gain access to your systems. Razor delivers enterprise-wide insight into every component of a security plan across identity devices, information apps, and infrastructure, with threat-prioritized recommendations. They design, deploy, manage, and monitor security solutions that enable modern business to safely communicate, collaborate, and thrive in the modern marketplace, whether they're working in person or remotely, on internal infrastructure or in the cloud, and in every possible hybrid arrangement. Choose Razor Technology to protect your digital assets, establish an organization-wide security posture, enforce safe practices for identity and access management, and secure hybrid and remote workforces. Call Razor Technology today at 866-797-3282, 866-797-3282, or visit them online at razor-tech.com. That's razor-tech.com.
Go for the beers, go for the cheers, go for the hit and the hits, go for the scene, go for the screens, go for the gallery, go for the win, go to Ocean.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for a December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Rams starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Game show with Seth Joyner.
I knew that they had a running game.
Derek Gunn.
He has put in the effort.
Devin Caney.
Had we not won the Super Bowl, what would we be saying?
And Mike Missinelli.
Well, you know who Philly is.
Post game, now streaming on the 6ABC family of apps.
Back. Yes, we are. Sports Day, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. D-Gun, D-Bucks, R. Ellis hanging out with you on this Monday. Hope you're doing well. Unfortunately, they label this Black Monday, which means there are guys losing their jobs.
Why you gotta be black, bro? Why you gotta go? Why you gotta go there?
I knew it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I apologize, Mr. Ellis. I didn't mean to let those words slip from my lips. I apologize.
Wow.
You're bad.
Wow.
Man. You're bad. That was D-Gun. That wasn't Derek.
Yeah.
That was D-Gun.
I don't know who that was. I don't know who that character was.
All right. So here's what we know so far. We touched on the Lovie Smith thing and the absurdity that's going on in Houston, where they just run through coaches every single year. It's a joke. The owner's a clown, and I will openly root against that team. Just period. Just for principle. Okay. So Lovie Smith is out. Lovie's still getting paid for I think 2 or 3 more years. So good for Lovie. So collect that big fat check. Do whatever you want, Lovie. Cliff Kingsbury, you talk about organizational dysfunction, the Bidwells in Arizona, just another mess. So they signed Kingsbury to an extension last offseason, guys, that runs through 2027.
Yeah.
Okay. They also gave, backed up the Brinks truck for Kyler Murray, too. So Kingsbury gets fired today. Their GM, Steve Kine, who has been, battling some health issues, has stepped away to focus on his health. So GM out, coach out for a team that was bad. Kingsbury had a losing record at Texas Tech as the head coach.
Yep.
You talk about, failing up. He couldn't win with Patrick Mahomes and had a losing record at Texas Tech and gets a job as a head coach in the NFL.
Wow. To put that in perspective.
Amazing.
This after he had just taken a job as USC's offensive coordinator.
Right.
He wasn't even there for a season. He gets a job at Arizona and bolts for Arizona. Now, the man had one winning season, which was 2021, and blew it in the first round of the playoffs. Well, his quarterback blew it in the first round of the playoffs. And we've been saying all season he was the first candidate to get fired. Now that didn't turn out to be the case. Hackett got fired, Lovie Smith, and then him. But he should have been fired before this season was over.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you didn't have DeAndre Hopkins the first 6 games, but you had enough talent elsewhere to do better than 4-13.
Oh,
Bro, I thought Green was a lot better than that. Green is just done because
AJ,
even though he caught that long, well, he caught the short pass and made it a long pass. He looked so slow, man, trying to get away, man. I'm like, look at this.
He looked done last year.
Yeah.
All right, so let's run through it. So we Lovey and Kingsbury go today. We know that Frank Reich already went. He is out of there. There are certainly Hackett already gone. Matt Rule, Matt Rule already gone.
What is that, 5?
Yeah. So I would say still up in the air. Now there's a lot of reports coming out of New Orleans that Dennis Allen is safe.
Yeah.
That he's not going anywhere. I would say the if there's anybody else, really, here's what it comes down to. I think. By the way, I think Josh McDaniels is safe in Las Vegas, and I think that's going to become the Tom Brady show. That's all we're going to hear about. They're going to try and get him. I think Vrabel's going to survive. I think Stefanski survives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think there's much question anywhere else. Is there? Am I missing? Well, here's the other one, and I don't think it would be a matter of getting fired. It may be a walking away because there's a lot of smoke yesterday on. If you watched any of the national pregame shows, Sean McVay may walk away. There was a lot of stuff cited yesterday.
Like when he coach, it said it's his decision. Like he might want to walk away.
Right. He wouldn't be forced out. He legitimately would walk away on his own. But
why?
Well, Jimmy Johnson made a good point yesterday, and I rarely will ever cite him on anything. But he was like 36 years old, one bad season.
Yeah, exactly.
He's rolling, like, really?
Yeah, yes.
Which Jimmy's not wrong. But this is where it starts. And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but it was getting like, it's like he had a bad year. Stafford was hurt. He did lose his grandfather. Obviously, that's a big deal.
That's a huge deal. Yep.
But one of the other things that was cited was his wife's family's from the Ukraine, and that's got him down with what's happening over there. Like, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but like, come on, man. Like, really?
What'd you say, Brooks?
I didn't say anything. I was sneezing.
Yeah. So, but here's what, in my opinion, what this is. He doesn't want to go through a long, rebuild. He knows he has no draft picks.
That's a bad message for a guy trying to get another job.
Yeah.
Are you going to quit on us if we go through hard times?
Like Phil Jackson can do this kind of stuff. Somebody who's won multiple rings, in their sport could do that. But I'm sorry, man. Like you can't roll. Like that's
weak. It is so weak, man. And because they put everything in the ring, you know what I'm saying? They pulled out all the stops and spent all the money. Now they got to pay for those sins that they did of last year, and he's not ready to do. He doesn't want to go through the process of rebuilding a team. Yep. That's cowardly.
Yeah, he sat there and ate the meal and gorged, and then the check came, and he was like, I got to go to the bathroom. And
right.
He's out of there.
Bruh, son, you got to go wash dishes.
That's
I say son because I could be his dad. I'm old enough to be his dad. Son, you got to go wash dishes. That's what you got to do.
You're only 14 years older than him, Bear.
Bro, we get the point. You get the point. Don't stop him. Don't stop him when he's on a roll.
I can't be. There's people that have kids at 14.
It's possible.
I could be his dad.
Semantics. But true. It's true.
No, I just think it's true.
I really and look, maybe the Rams are looking at it like we so badly need draft picks. Whenever he wants to come back, we'll probably get a first rounder for him. And they're kind of like, all right, I guess. But I think if McVay walks away, man, it's not a good message about him.
He needs to go see the wizard.
Yeah.
The cowardly lion if he walks away.
If he walks away, he can't coach my team. He might be a great offensive mind, a great motivator of young men, because I don't know how long you committed for, to be honest.
He will. He's gonna walk away, bro, and it's just gonna be a coward move, man. That's just a shiesty move, man. Shiesty individual does the thing, something like that.
If he walks away and I'm the Rams, I wouldn't pay him. I ain't paying you.
No,
we didn't fire you. We didn't fire you. You quit on us.
Yeah.
But then there'll be a stupid team and say, "All right, well, we want this coach." Like he'll come back like a year and a half, or he's gonna be on TV for a year.
That's what it'll be, Barrett. He'll go make nice money sitting, on a TV set for a while,
and then bam, he'll be right back and say, "You know what? I feel like going back." like Sean Payton,
Yeah.
oh no, I can't say that because Chucky was out the league for a while. Before he came back, you know.
Yeah.
I just think that's a cowardly move, man. Very cowardly.
You can't do it. You can't do that, man, and expect people to respect you in this league.
Yeah.
In such a fragile fraternity. You gonna quit on us? If I'm a player and you walk in my locker room, I'm looking at you side-eyed.
Right.
How long you here for?
Yep.
How long you here for? We don't win.
You were on board with the plan. What you knew, draft picks were flying out the window. You know.
He absolutely knew that. He absolutely knew it was going to be rough on him. They thought they had a 2-year window to win it all twice.
Yeah.
But they won one, so I mean, it worked for a minute.
Let me throw one more out there that could potentially be a change.
Well, hold on. Before you say that, though.
Yeah.
So how long do you think Aaron Donald plays?
This could be it. This could be
it. He was hurt, didn't play the rest of the season. That's kind of cowardly also.
Yeah.
Maybe he was legitimately hurt.
I'm talking about if he doesn't come back.
If he rolls. He's saying if he retires.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say nothing about a man being hurt. If he hurt, he hurt, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if he doesn't come back, that's kind of cowardly.
I would say this. If the Chargers go to Jacksonville and lose, I don't know that Brandon Staley is safe.
I agree.
I don't know that. And that, to me, is where Sean Payton makes sense. He wants to stay on the West Coast. He wants to step into a position where there's a quarterback in place. You know, like the right coach could get that thing where it needs to be real fast, in my opinion, with the Chargers.
I would say if Sean Payton goes to either Denver or the Chargers, Sean Payton turns that thing around in 1 year.
Yep.
With the talent both of those teams have on offense, and he's an offensive-minded coach, even with Russell Wilson having the worst year of his career, he'll make Russell Wilson a Pro Bowl quarterback again. With those pass catchers they have in Denver,
they're so good, man.
I know, man.
They are so good, man. Jerry Jeudy runs the best routes, man, I've seen in a long time, bro. He's fast and explosive too. I'm like, why is this kid doing something, man?
Yeah. Yeah, he's being wasted.
Yeah, Sean to get it out of him.
Well, then you say that, then why don't you say, well, so that brings me to go straight down to Dallas. I thought it was almost a foregone conclusion that he's going to be the Dallas head coach.
Interesting.
Yeah, Barrett, great point. Like, let's say they lose to Tampa Bay, right? As the favorite going in, which they are. They're favorite in the game. Does McCarthy survive? And if it's not Peyton, who is it? If he does get bounced?
Yeah. I don't think McCarthy survives. If they get bounced the first game. But see, you know what? Say what you want to say about McCarthy. This is more on Dak than it is McCarthy.
Yep.
True. But you're not moving Dak because you owe him all that money.
Bro, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He got him to the playoffs. Now he can lead him to water. He can't make him drink.
Yeah.
He got him to the playoffs.
Dude, look at some of the picks he threw this year. He was telegraphing passes like a Davis Webb.
Yeah.
You know, and you've been around the block longer than that, man. That pick six he threw yesterday typifies some of the picks he's thrown this season, man. Just telegraphing passes all over the place.
Did you guys see the quote by Jerry afterwards?
No.
Oh, yeah, I saw that dummy. Yeah.
What is that?
Quote, we got to suck on that all week. If that doesn't make you want to get ready in about 6 days, 7 days, nothing else will.
Yeah,
that was a thorough butt kicking as we've had this year, and we're going to find out if that'll get you ready or not. It should, with what these guys are made of. That was Jerry after the game.
McCarthy could take the fall for Dak Prescott's ineptitude. If you think about it, they're not gonna move Dak, you know. And if I'm a team looking for a quarterback, I'm not trading for Dak. You want me to give up first round capital for what Dak put up this year
and what he's making?
No, thank you. No, thank you. That's all right. I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of money, man. He's making a lot of money.
That's a lot of coinage, huh?
Yeah.
Now you think Todd Bowles survives this?
I think he survives.
Oh, I don't know, man. I do not, especially not with Brady not coming back.
I mean, do they want to start getting on that merry-go-round where you go from Arians to him and then a new guy again, third year, 3 years? I don't know.
Maybe they provoke with Dan again. Well, maybe they go with Byron Leftwich. You know, that's their boy.
Yeah,
that's Bruce Arians' boy, and he's in front office.
Interesting theory.
It's possible.
It's a possibility.
And
you guys still think that Brady ends up with the Raiders with his boy over there? You think he weathers it?
I think McDaniel survives. He's going to pitch Brady hard. He's going to try and get him there. Brady goes there. He's back in his favorite system. He's going to bring Gronk with him. You're going to have a double tight end situation with Waller and Gronk to go with Devontae Adams and Renfro.
Ooh.
And if you re-sign JAKIB in running game, there's a lot there.
Wow.
There's a lot there.
Crosby coming off the edge, Chandler coming off the edge.
You're not losing all these games by, like a field goal or like a point or 4 points with Brady, or that you lost earlier in the year, and you're probably a playoff team.
That is nasty once you think about it. That is nasty.
Now, really all this comes down to is, does Brady look at his current life situation and say, I shouldn't even have played this year, man. That's it. Like, I'm done. Or does he say, right? Or does he say, I'm divorced, man. I got a lot of time on my hands. Like,
well, if he says I want to spend more time with the family, I'm not believing him. He already said that, and look how quick he came back.
Right.
I don't put that in the equation, because now you're a single man. You have split duties with the kids. You don't have the pressure of a wife, constantly on your case for basically lying to her. You told her you were done, and then you went back like 6 weeks later. Not even 6 weeks. So I think Brady is that one dude. Man, think about this. 10 years from now, we can look back and say, this dude handpicked every team he went to after the Patriots. Mm-hmm. He went from one Super Bowl contender to the next. All they needed was a quarterback, and he was it. You'll never see that again in the history of pro football. You imagine if he won Super Bowls with 3 different teams?
Well, let me ask you this one then. Does Allen make it? Does he survive this?
Dennis Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, they already said that he's coming back.
The reports out of New Orleans are he's going to survive. Wow. Now, no guarantee, but that's the reports out of New Orleans.
I just don't. He didn't do anything substantial.
Well, he didn't have a quarterback, first of all.
Yeah.
They got to figure out what they want to be, like what they are. I don't know.
Does the hoodie survive?
Hoodie's coming back.
He's coming back. He already said it today.
It'll be his 24th year in New England. He is officially coming back.
He's 71 years old, and he's coming back next year.
Here's the interesting thing about them. Does he move on from the Matt Patricia, Joe Judge mess that he made his offense?
He should.
Or does he look at it and scapegoat Mac Jones and say, he can't play, I got to get myself a quarterback? And I got to get some weapons.
Well, think about this. What veteran quarterback? You can't put that onus on a rookie, even if you get a rookie in the first round. Right. A rookie's not going to take you to where you want to go in a hurry. You got to get a veteran quarterback. Where the heck are you going to get a veteran quarterback? Unless you can find a way. Now, I will say this one thing about New England. They do not care about having draft picks. If they identify a proven player, they will go get him in a minute. Could Aaron Rodgers go to New England?
Some think so. I'll give you the 2 landing spots of another quarterback that might be interesting. Garoppolo. There's there's 2 schools of thumb, right? One is he goes back to the Patriots. The other is he goes to the Jets.
I think he would go back to the hoodie first. He knows the organization well. He knows their tradition, their history. I think he would go there first, to be honest. Go back to familiar surroundings.
Yeah, and then you get into, like, there's some good quarterbacks coming out, man. But you're going to get into that whole thing where it's just going to be teams vying. And by the way, the Eagles pick is going to be 10, the New Orleans pick.
Yep.
I'm the Eagles. I'm like, I'm hanging the for sale sign. Like, all right, who wants to come up? Come on up. Let's go. What do we have? What are you offering? Get to 10, and then you can maybe pivot off of that, get down to like 4. We know how that worked with Wentz. You had to take 2 jumps, to get up to where they needed to get up to. The Eagles could be that pivot point. They really could be. That's going to be one to watch too.
And Howie's not above trading down if he can get what he wants.
No, he's definitely not.
He's done it before.
The Browns have fired Joe Woods, who's their defensive coordinator. He gets the scapegoat for that, which would tell me it's likely that Stefanski's staying there if they're bouncing coordinators.
Yep.
I don't know how you judge anything out of Cleveland this year, frankly. Nope. You know, when you took on the Deshaun Watson thing, like all bets were off, you know, with how that was going to look the whole year. It was just kind of like
you can't let him go with that amount of pressure and them navigating that whole situation. You can't take that out. You can't put that all on him. And then, all right, so the Colts, what are they going to do?
Yeah. That's another one they're looking for.
Nobody wants to go there.
They don't have a quarterback.
They're apparently the one that they're really going hard after. Doesn't mean they're going to get him, but the one they're going hard after is Jim Harbaugh.
True.
He played for them.
Yeah.
He's got a relationship with Irsay. I think he's nuts to go there, but the reports are that they're going to be going hard after him.
That's like oil and water.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's going to work.
You can't tell Harbaugh what to do in his locker room.
No.
Yeah.
He isn't going for that.
Yeah.
You guys know I played with Harbaugh?
You did. You had a cup of coffee with him in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a possibility that he ends up there. Maybe. Not a guarantee, but I think it's possible that he ends up there.
And you guys think that the Titans' job is still there?
I think Vrabel survives.
I think he's safe. Yeah, I think he's safe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's safe.
They also have to, like, there's a couple things they have to do. Like, are you going to keep going down the Tannehill road? You clearly don't believe in Malik Willis. Are you going to keep going down the Tannehill road? And you got to start lightening the load for Derrick Henry, which means you got to get help on the outside with receivers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Got to. Or else you're going to run this guy. He's 29. He'll be done in, I give him 2 or 3 years. He's going to be a shell of himself if you keep this pace up.
You can't have that man running the ball 330 times a game.
No.
You can't. You can't do that. I don't care how big and strong he is. Guess what? Like a brand new car, you get dents in it after a while.
Yeah. Let me throw another one at you guys that I think could go a lot of different directions. Washington. Does Rivera survive?
Right. I don't think so.
I don't either. I don't think he does.
I don't think so.
And that's another unattractive job. You have the whole thing with Snyder, and he may sell. And you don't have a quarterback. Like, I know Sam Howell went in there yesterday and did a good job against the Cowboys, but you know, Heineke's gone, Wentz is gone. Howell's probably there as a backup, but you don't have a quarterback and you have a really unstable situation above you. That's not an appealing gig either.
Nope.
No. If I'm Rivera, I'd walk away, to be honest.
Yeah.
Take a year off like Doug Peterson did. Enjoy your family, enjoy freedom, and then regroup and handpick where you want to go. He's respected enough, even if it's only as a coordinator, a defensive coordinator, he's respected enough to where he can handpick where he wants to go. I mean, think about it. Look at all the coaches we've already talked about been fired or could be fired just this year.
Right.
Imagine what next year could be like.
Right.
You know, in terms of him being able to pick where he wants to go, a team that's already loaded with defense, just need the right guy to unleash it. You know, he could put himself in a good situation. Like, hey, man, I don't want to be here. We got a dump for a stadium. Ownership's a mess. We have no quarterback. Hey, you know what? Cut me a check. I'm out. I'm out. Cut me a check.
Very possible.
Yeah.
So the Titans are looking at GM candidates, and one of them is Ian Cunningham of the Bears, who was formerly of the Eagles. He's one of the guys they're going to be looking at.
Interesting.
A lot of guys got poached from the Eagles front office.
Yep.
The last year in particular. I wonder what that trickle-down effect is going to look like as we move forward with drafts and that kind of thing. You know,
would you say what's his name? What, Ian who?
Cunningham. Yeah. I wonder what that's going to look like too. Like if the Eagles have done a really good job with the draft and free agency. Although I will say this, it's really interesting that this team won 14 games, getting almost nothing out of their draft picks. You got a little bit out of Jordan Davis.
Yep.
Nothing out of Cam Jurgens. Only special teams with Nakobe Dean. That's rare that you have and that little contribution and you still have a good team.
That shows how good you are as an organization,
right.
though. Because you're able to develop them. Like, even though Kazir White had a great game, he had a great game. That's the best I've seen him play in the past 10, 11 weeks.
Right.
He had an awesome game, a magnificent game. For the past maybe 6 or 7 games, he's been out there, but not out there. He hasn't been doing anything. And when you got Dean, it's just the opportunity is just too great to let Kazir White walk and just, plug Dean in that spot. Means you don't have to pay TJ Edwards then.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's going to be a rough one.
How about this one? For an 18th consecutive year, the NFC East has a different division winner.
That's one of the most incredible stats there is.
I'm looking. I don't see none of them Cowboy fans looking at the stream, looking at where they at.
And over that time frame, they won 2 Super Bowls: 2011 Giants, 2017 Eagles.
Yeah,
Eagles have won 6 division titles. Dallas 6, Giants and Washington both 3. The last time was the Eagles who won it 4 straight from 01 to 04. But 18 different division winners, 18 years in a row. That's an NFL record.
Count for that? That's crazy.
Dude, I don't get it. That's an NFL record. It's never happened before.
Yeah, I don't know how almost 2 decades with a different division winner every year. And you look at it, I mean, Giants are just going to get better. They're a possibility.
Yep.
Cowboys, whatever. I mean, they're not going away. And the Eagles are going to be good again. And if Washington does make some moves and they bring in the right part, I mean, it's possible it's a different, team next year. Look, all the more reason. There's so many signs pointing to this has to be the Eagles' year. They have to win it because
if they don't,
if they don't, they're going to lose a lot of people in free agency. As good as Howie is with the cap, they are going to lose significant people. You were able to make all these moves, both trades and draft picks, because you have a second-round quarterback as your starter on that contract.
They're going to have to pay him next year.
There's got to be crazy urgency.
I mean, what do you do? Franchise him if you don't pay him?
I mean, you could do that. No, they don't have to do that next year. He still has a year on his deal.
Oh, okay.
Like you just don't want him having a Lamar Jackson situation where he's in the last year of his deal, like this year was for Lamar.
I can see him going to. I see him going somewhere like maybe Carolina.
You could see Jalen.
No, I could see.
Lamar.
No, not to Carolina. I could see him going to Atlanta.
They just drafted Ritter. They take him in the second round.
He did nothing. He did nothing for him. And he'd just be a backup for him. You bring Lamar down there with that dynamic tight end, London, the big receiver, the run game with the running back from BYU, and their defense. Algier. So they got something going on there. That might be the perfect landing spot for him.
You're talking about the Eagles are all in now to win it all now, and how they're going to have to make significant changes. Dank Burrito brought up something I have down on my notes that I wanted to bring up. But did you see the Eagles' schedule next year?
Yeah, on paper it's a lot tougher,
dude. You better win it this year, because that schedule next year ain't no joke compared to this schedule. Yeah, so if you're all in, you better make sure you got your horses and don't stumble this year, because it gets that much tougher next year.
No, it is. It is. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. While we speak about it, I'll look it up. I'll see if I can find it. But yeah, it's definitely a more bigger challenge, for sure.
As they should. They've had 2-week schedules the last 2 years.
Right, and to their credit, they've taken advantage of it.
This year. Got to. But I will say this. They will be an even better team next year from learning from the experience they're having right now to put them in a position where I think that their draft picks will start playing. The young guys will start playing. They have so many young guys that are in impactful positions right now. So many young guys, quarterback position, wide receiver position, tight end position. Only real spot on the offensive side of the ball that they're kind of old at is the offensive line. Everyone else is young, spring chickens.
Yeah.
Well, you have to take into consideration what's this defense going to look like next year.
Well, your interior is Fletcher, Hargrave, Sue, and Joseph. You're old there. BG's old.
Yeah. The lines, both of the lines. And in the trenches, you're old. You got experience in the trenches.
Yeah.
And Sayamalu, go on.
You may lose Kelsey.
May lose Sayamalu.
Dillard. You can forget Dillard.
No, Dillard's out of here.
Well, what happens with Miles Sanders?
Sanders.
Lost him. Lose him. And then I think Dump Truck. Boston Scott. Yeah. Boston Scott still has another year on his deal. Gainwell's still on a rookie deal. The receivers, they look good at the receiver position. You know what I'm saying? The oldest guys. The oldest guys, what, A.J. Brown?
24, 25.
Yeah. Pascal's a little older, but he's not, a significant piece.
He might not be back next year.
He might not be back. You're right.
And I think he should have a more prominent role in this offense.
Who?
Pascal.
It's just not enough footballs.
I know. But I'm saying he should have more than 15 catches.
Well, that's because they keep trying to throw the daggone ball to
Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins, yeah.
Well, I think one of the things you give the team credit for, the players, you never heard anybody complain about touches.
Nope.
No.
And you were able to get one receiver the most receiving yards ever in club history, and the other one got the most catches in club history.
That's saying something. That's saying we just gonna force our receivers to win this game for us. We're gonna spoon feed them. They're gonna force them.
I'm really excited to see what especially A.J. Brown looks like in a playoff setting. Like, I think he's going to go into beast mode. Not that he hasn't all year, but I think he's going to be like crazy amazing in the playoffs. I really do believe that. Going to be interesting. All right, let's get a timeout. We'll come back. We'll hit some birthdays. Barrett's got a couple of good on this dates for us.
Barrett doing his homework.
We got a national championship tonight, guys, with Georgia and ECU.
Can't wait.
We'll hit.
Where we watching the game at?
Gunners for wings.
Where would you like to watch it, Mr. Brooks?
Your house.
I am opening my arms to you, sir.
All right.
It's getting touching.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Let's see how much we believe that, and we'll dig into it when we come back.
I wish you would cross the state line.
He's gonna have state troopers set up just to get you the second you crossed over to Delaware. There he is. There's a license plate number. Oh my God! All right, let's step aside. We'll get into all of it when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take. Right back.
Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Rams starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Post-game show with Seth Joyner,
I knew that they had a running game.
Derek Gunn,
He has put in the effort.
Devin Caney,
Had we not won the Super Bowl, what would we be saying?
and Mike Missinelli.
Well, you know who Philly is.
Post-game, now streaming on the 6ABC family of apps.
Time flies. You have the fun final segment of the show. Welcome back in, everybody. Barry Brooks, Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis. All right, let's hit a couple things, guys. Heavy Eagles in NFL, as you would expect. And we'll get back to the Eagles in a little bit here. But national championship tonight. You got Georgia TCU. This game's at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. The Bulldogs are 12.5-point favorites over the Horned Frogs in this one. Nobody expected TCU to be here. Georgia
Nope.
trying to repeat, which is no easy task in college football, that's for sure. Barry, I'll start with you on this one. You do a lot of college games, man. How do you see this one going tonight?
That TCU football team is as fast, man. Like their defense is fast defense, explosive defense. They run to the ball. They create havoc, man. And they don't just run around like a chicken with the head cut off. They run with a purpose, which makes them one of the better defenses in the league because they are so fast. What Michigan tried to do, they couldn't do. They tried to out-physical them, and you couldn't out-physical. They tried to run the ball, keep bumping their head against the wall by trying to run the ball into their 3-3 defense. The way they play a 3-3 defense, they're always bringing four people, but they bring one from depth. So when you play against them, you can't run plays that are man plays. Man plays meaning front side double team, pull the backside guard. You don't want one-on-one blocks against them because they move so much you can't get a hat on a hat. So you got to run zone, and that's what Georgia does best. They can run zone run plays on them. And when you run zone run plays on them, if you get one guy cut off from the guy trying to get into his gap, if you get one guy from getting into his gap, it creates a huge hole. And that's how you beat that defense. The other side of the ball, TCU, they're just as explosive also. You got to keep up with them. You got to keep scoring with them. Can Georgia keep up with scoring on them? Can they beat up on that defense? Use their size and explosiveness on them. They're just as fast. They're just bigger. So if they can control the line of scrimmage by putting a hat on the hat and on these zone plays, and then on the offensive side of the ball, stop on the offensive side of the ball with not giving them the big play. And I think TCU's running back is not playing. If he's not playing, it'll be a decided advantage against going against Georgia. Georgia should win the game, but it won't be like a convincing game where they're just blowing them out. I mean, it'll be a double digit. It might be 10 points, but it's not like they're going to be like 14 or, just get embarrassed. They're going to be up there with them.
Yeah, I wrote them off. I thought Michigan would beat them. They're tough. They're just a tough-nosed bunch in general. And they had some – you're right. Their speed on defense is unbelievable, Barrett. They really are. I'm really looking forward to this one tonight. I think it's going to be fun.
Me too.
Yeah. Gunnar, you got a thought on it?
I believe Georgia will win the game, but I'm rooting for TCU in this game because it's such a great underdog story. Georgia, in a lot of ways, is like Michigan, a big team with a little bit better speed than Michigan.
Yep.
And nobody thought that TCU could put up 40-something points on Michigan's defense the way Michigan had played the last half of the season. But this TC offense stresses you in so many ways, and that quarterback he stresses you because he'll take off in a minute and run.
Right.
You know, he's a strong kid. He's not like just one of these little wimpy quarterbacks.
Oh,
This
yeah.
kid he'll put his shoulder down and bang into you.
Yeah.
You know, just the way Davis Webb did Blankenship yesterday. You know?
He's built like a linebacker, Doug.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and he's got a great arm. He's got some great pass catchers. They've got speed. And I think it was this Holden. Holden says, "Come on, D-Gun, don't sell out my dogs." I'm not selling them out, man. I'm just saying nobody on this planet thought TCU would upset Michigan, and they took it to Michigan. They didn't back down one bit.
Yeah.
And TCU is going to have some explosive plays. You think about the volume of talent Georgia lost to the NFL draft last year.
Oh my God.
They lost like 9 players to the draft last year. And they came back and went 13-0, 14-0 again this year. You know what? There's something to be said for rallying cries too when a team says, "Hey, nobody expected us to be here, so why don't we just go out and win it and shock the world?"
Yeah.
And that's TCU's mindset right now. I think it's going to be a good game of track meet. And I hope TC pulls it off.
All right. Sixers won yesterday. They beat the Pistons.
They beat the hell out of the Pistons.
Yeah, they put it on them. They spanked, which they should do. They did what they were supposed to do. They killed them. No Embiid. Harden gets a triple-double. It was a really good all-around game. I watched about an hour and 20 before the Eagles tipped off.
You did?
They started at 3. The Sixers started at 3.
I mean, bro, I had to watch football. I'm in a setting where I got all these monitors behind me and stuff. I was football glued in all day yesterday.
Yeah, way to just jab it in there and just rotate it a little bit. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Brooks. I didn't mean to. I'm just telling you where I was and what I was doing.
Free food you were getting, man.
Ocean
Casino hooks it up.
We had wings, fruit bowl,
come on, man.
beverages, soda, coffee, water.
And you know my show Birds Huddle is sponsored by Ocean Casino also.
We should tell Ocean to send you some food.
Nice.
Dang.
What?
Derek, talk to your people, man. Take care of that.
Dang. You sponsoring this show too. Look, you see us sitting right there.
That's our guys. Ocean Casino Resort are our
Ocean
people.
Casino Resort.
The difference is we are there and you are here. So therefore, they roll out the red carpet for us.
Way to roll up, just dagger, just sticking it on there, just sticking
and
sticking.
20 something monitors right there. The sports and ambiance there. Now, one monitor was on a basketball game. They were all on football. I was at the mercy of the casino. What do you want me to do?
I hear you.
You couldn't help it, right?
He had to rub it in a little bit.
You know what you say?
Help.
D-Gun got to do what D-Gun got to do.
I couldn't believe that was even said, bro. You just had to bring it up too. Yeah, to bring it up, man.
There's a nice trend here happening with the Sixers, and this is bore out of no Embiid. So Montrezl Harrell is actually playing very well for them.
Yes, he is.
He had 20 yesterday to go with 6 rebounds, had a block. He was 8 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He and Harden, from playing together before, have a really nice chemistry. He's emerging now, and you don't fall off a cliff when Embiid leaves the games. You hope when he comes back. The other thing is B-Ball Paul played well yesterday too. He went for 16 on 6 of 7 shooting. He also had 8 offensive rebounds and 12 altogether. 8 offensive rebounds is a lot of rebounds.
Yes.
And he had 3 steals.
Offensive, like say the keyword offensive rebound.
Offensive, man, like he was hitting the glass yesterday. And I know it's Detroit who stink, but still, it's on the road and you're taking care of business. So they won, and they're 24-15 now on the season. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Embiid, whether or not he comes back, to the squad here. He's dealing with a foot injury. He's been out since last Monday was the last time he played against, I think, the Pelicans. I think it was the Pelicans.
Yep. The rematch against the Pelicans.
Right. So if he's, even if he sits until Tuesday, that'll be 8 days off with this thing. And it's a favorable portion of the schedule. You get Detroit again at home. You get Oklahoma City at home. You go on the West Coast, which is not easy, but you go to Utah, and you get the Lakers still probably without Anthony Davis, and then the Clippers, and then Portland, and then Sacramento. So at least for the next couple of games, you could buy him a little bit more time, I think, and still survive and win.
This Embiid thing is starting to bother me with this in, out, in, out, in, out. Now the foot injury. Who knows what's next? The good thing is, as you said, they're playing the weak sisters of the NBA. I want to see how they stack up without Embiid against the better teams in the NBA. We're not going to see that for a while. But you got to win these games no matter what, because we be sitting here crucifying them if they were losing these games against the weak sisters in the league. But this Embiid thing is something you got to monitor closely. This dude is nicked up every other week.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. You keep going like this.
Well, I'm gonna say is this: with his absence, I saw what I needed to see. I see, it's not, I kind of expect that from Maxey, and I expect that from Harden. But when you see, Harold give me 20, you see Paul Reed giving you 16. George Niang, when they gave him the shot, he was shooting, wasn't he? He was.
Oh yeah, I love what he's had a really good year.
Yeah, he putting it up. He gave us 14, and Shake was even playing at a high level yesterday. Even though he didn't score as much, but he was playing. He was being more a distributor.
Yeah.
So he had 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Only played 25 minutes. When you start seeing, there was even a Farrakhan Korkmaz sighting. He even got off the bench for a minute. So it's when you start seeing others, less impact players making plays, not afraid to shoot, not afraid to go out there and run an offense without thinking you got to give it to, to the big man aside. And they stepped up. To me, it bodes well for us.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Around the league, Kevin Durant's got a sprained MCL. Yep. He's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. They're playing the Heat, and I think it was Jimmy Butler, kind of landed awkwardly on him. He knew right away. He was kind of grabbing there wasn't anything malicious. It was just a play, and he grabbed his knee right away. He's been on fire. So that would be a big loss to the Nets, who have been playing unbelievable basketball lately.
Well, when you're 7 feet tall and weigh 130 pounds, I'm surprised he's not injured more often, to be honest with you. That dude you're talking about anorexic. That dude is the skinniest big man I've seen in a long time, man. He's lethal, though. Kevin Durant. He looks like a spider out there.
Well, it's less weight to carry around. Maybe that's better on your joints.
He's lethal. I'll give him that.
To me, he looks like a praying mantis, man. His head.
Yes, there you go.
He's the praying mantis, bro. He will
lighten
you up. Now you looking at him like, man, I hate to get an elbow from him, man. It probably goes straight through you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bony elbows.
Yeah. But man, I tell you what, man. Talking about somebody that just doesn't miss. He and Kyrie got something going on, man. They got something going on.
Oh, and we all thought they would be a mess, as they were early on. All of a sudden, they've just taken off.
Yeah, no question.
Well, same thing happened last year with the Celtics. They started out real shaky, Toombs, real shaky.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah.
From out of nowhere.
All right, let's hit some Barrett, give us your on this date, because you have good on this date, and then we're gonna do birthdays, and then I want to swing it back to the Eagles here.
All right, on this day. Let's start off kind of way back when. Christopher Columbus mistakes manatees for being mermaids. Now they don't look like them. There was some fat mermaids, but still though, he mistaken them for mermaids. So
big bone, man. We don't say fat mermaid.
Right, yeah, okay then. This is June 9th, 1493. Yeah, Big Bone did. Stop. All right, and then all right, Apple first launches iTunes.
Ooh.
In what year?
What year is it?
2001.
Okay.
Apple launched iTunes in 2001. It's been that long?
Yes. What about this? Steve Jobs. No, Steve Jobs debuts the iPhone in 2007.
Oh, wow.
7? Wow.
Oh, my God, man. So it's been 16 years. Wow.
Can you believe that? And everybody has iPhone except for me.
Except for you.
You guys hate when my green checks come in your
except for you and Ray Didinger.
I told you, every time I try to send a group video, it kicks it back when I include you. When I'm sending group videos to Xander, you and Barrett and Rob, it kicks it back, man. I have to delete you. I'm like, man, what kind of bogus phone do you have, man?
No, that's what you're telling everybody.
Oh, God. All right, you had another one, right?
And then the last one, this is straight for my boy. This is for my dog. Hey, Rob, on this day, Sylvester Stallone started filming the first Rocky.
Yeah, this is a holy day. All right?
Oh,
It's a holy day of
a
obligation.
national holiday.
Yes.
A
Say your
Philadelphia
prayers.
holiday.
Say your prayers. Yes. Thank you.
What year did they start?
76.
So on this day in 1976 is when they started filming Rocky. When was the movie released?
I think it was released right around Thanksgiving. So it took them about 10, 11 months to do. Yeah.
That's all. They shot the movie in 10, 11 months. Look at Rob, man. He's in his glory right now.
Right.
Yo,
Adrian. I
Adrian.
saw it. That's what stopped me. And look, when I was looking on these days, and I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, okay,
we got to do it." The marathon was on last week on like AMC or one of those.
Did you watch?
Awesome. You watched it?
Oh, we went all the way through
12 of them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was only angry because Creed wasn't part of it either. It was just the Rockies. I wanted some Creed and Creed 1, Creed 1 and Creed 2. I was not happy.
You watched all 27 of them.
Yes, exactly. I think it just ended. It was on like Monday. All right, so good ones, Barrett. Nice work. All right, let's do some birthdays here. I got a lot. It's pretty solid. Yeah. Kate Middleton, who was what is she? The Duchess? I don't know any of this royal stuff, man.
Yeah,
as
really.
you guys know.
Everybody hates royal stuff here in Philly. I mean, here in the United States. Everybody hates
because of
royal.
Rob. That's why.
I'd be kind of pissed off if they was taking money out of my check every paycheck.
Every news tease I see is Harry complaining about something else. Prince Harry. I don't know.
He doesn't like his brother.
Yeah.
Nobody likes his wife. I mean, come on, man.
Well, anyway, his sister-in-law, I guess, right? That's what she is. Yeah, Kate Middleton is 41 years old today. So happy birthday. Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, lead guitarist, is 79 years old. Crystal Gale, the country singer who had the long hair. Remember her long hair all the way down to her rear end?
Oh, yeah.
72 years old. Buster Poindexter.
Wow.
Yeah, Buster Poindexter, 73 years old. Guy was a really good actor. J.K. Simmons.
Yep.
He was in Whiplash and a lot of other stuff.
Yep. Tomorrow War. Yep.
Yeah. That dude is intense, but he is 68 years old. Richard Nixon was born on this day in 1913.
Yep.
Richard Nixon. Muggsy Bogues is 58 today. Yes. Muggsy Bogues.
Can you believe he was a 12th overall player taken in an NBA draft at 5'3"?
Crazy. He went that high.
At 5'3".
That's incredible. And he could dunk.
And he played 14 years in the NBA.
Yeah, I know. He had a nice career, man.
Jeez.
He had a really nice career. Amazing. That's amazing that he played in the league.
No,
Sean Paul, the singer and
Paul.
You can't forget about Michael Beasley, K-State's finest.
Oh, that's right.
He turns 34 today, man.
That's right, Michael Beasley.
You just that's good. Yeah,
the NBA career didn't quite work out the way we'd hoped. Bob Denver of Gilligan's Island fame, born on this day in 1935.
Yes.
Dude, I didn't know he had the drug problem that he did. He was arrested a number of times for like marijuana. He was married 4 different times. This dude had all kinds of issues, and he was a heavy smoker. He was a heavy smoker also.
Okay.
Had lung cancer at one point.
Damn. Okay. I did not know that. Joan Baez, the singer, is 82 years old.
Yep.
Dave Matthews, the singer, is 56 years old. Ocho Cinco is 45 today.
Ocho Cinco.
Yes. Yeah. Bart Starr, Hall of Famer, 30. It was born this day, 1934. Sergio Garcia, golfer, is 42 years old today. Dick Enberg, one of the all-time great broadcasters, born on this day, 1935, was Dick Enberg.
Your boy Marcus Peters.
Marcus Peters.
30.
Is he still with the Ravens?
Yes, he's still with the Ravens.
He's still there.
That's all I had. What else you got? You guys got anything else?
Omari Hardrick turned 49.
From Power. Yep.
What's his name? David Costable. I think his name is David Costable from Breaking Bad and The Wire.
Oh, okay. He's in a lot of stuff, that guy.
Yeah, so he's today's his birthday. I forget how old he is. Oh, he's 56.
Okay.
He's 56. That's about it.
Okay.
Well, you got Catherine, Princess of Wales, 41. Jolie Richardson from the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson, 58. Lee Van Cleef, one of my all-time favorite spaghetti Western actors.
He's a good actor. He was intense.
Yeah, he was intense. Dean Cole, who played on Blackish.
Yep.
51. And Justin Blackman. Here's a dude who was the 5th overall player taken in the draft. You know, he lasted 1 year in the NFL because
Oklahoma
of drug
State,
issues.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, he was like a big time receiver the 1 year he played. He lasted 1 year in the NFL because of drug problems.
I haven't, you know what? I haven't thought about him in a long time. That's crazy.
Yeah, he came out in 2012. Jacksonville took him. And then after 2012 is when he went off to deep end.
Wow.
And then one of the biggest Instagram stars in the world, they call him Holy. I don't know if you call it GOTS, but it's Holy GXD. It's the ugliest dude in America. I mean, he's the ugliest person probably on earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're bringing in Instagram stars.
No, this dude right here. If you saw him, it's like he don't have any teeth, and he can make his whole chin come up over his nose.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah, him. That's him.
Oh, yeah, I see him in a lot of videos.
Okay. That's why I'm see
ugly as a mud fence.
Punching bag face.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He looks like something out of a horror movie, man.
How do you pronounce his name?
I don't ask me.
I'm not taking a shot. I already took a shot at name pronunciation earlier, man. Yeah, I'm out.
What's his name again?
HOLYGXD.
HOLYGXD. Man, how can you have three consonants in his last name?
I'm pretty sure it's not his birth name, man.
Dude, his last name is ugly as he is.
Yeah, pretty sure that wasn't on the birth certificate. Just
my goodness. His real name, I don't know his real name. It's Javante Carter. His real name is Javante Carter.
Really?
Yeah, Javante Carter.
Interesting.
Movies.
There's nothing interesting about him.
No. Gran Torino in 2009 and Goldfinger in 1964.
There we go.
Goldfinger,
Yeah.
he's the man.
Yeah.
The man with the Midas touch. Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow, 12:30, Sal Palantonio of ESPN.
Yes, sir.
That's a good get by Gunner. So we're looking forward to talking to Sal.
I get a bonus for that?
No.
It's in the checks in the mail.
Man, y'all cheat, man.
Checks in the mail.
Y'all cheat. I can't hang with you people, man. Y'all cheat.
All right, we got to go. We have to go. We are out of time. All right, tomorrow we'll keep it going with the Eagles. We'll keep going with the NFL as we are now in playoff mode. We are locked into playoff mode. So we will get in all those kind of things when we come back tomorrow. Same time, by the way.
If you'd invited me and Rob down to help you, we could have helped you watch the
I gotta go pick up a grandson at 4. I'm like daddy daycare. I got one son-in-law say, "Hey, I'm bringing the kids over today." I'm like, "What? Wait, what?" What? And then the other daughter texts me, "Dad, are you available to pick up Cruz?" I'm like, "I guess, yeah."
Hey, I'm gonna give you your last word. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God! All right, let's. We want to thank Xander Kraus for the program. Man. Everybody in the chat section, everybody streaming, everybody listening. Stay tuned. We get the National Football Show with the man himself, Dan Cilio. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. 3 hours of power. We are Sports Take for Derek Barrett. I am Rob. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Number 1, Jeff D'Ambrosio. Destination Downingtown is rolling back prices for a December to remember. For a limited time, you can own, not lease, brand new 2023 Jeep Wranglers for only $30,995 or $339 per month. New Ram starting at only $30,995 or new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs $189 per month. Zero down can deliver. Get the price you want, the selection you need, and the VIP treatment you deserve. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Big Finish Sales Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on tax.